Good evening and welcome back to Hall of Fame College Football with Jason and the coach. I'm your host, Jason Watkins. He's the coach, Philip Roybal, and we have our special guest in studio tonight, Coach Smook from the Coach Smook Network. If you love college football, you know you're in the right place. So before you forget, smash that red subscriber button, like our videos, and don't forget to ring the bell so you don't miss one moment of Hall of Fame college football. Make sure you get over there and check out the stream on Coach Smook's channel as well. And hit that like over there. Become a subscriber. I can show you exactly where to go. It's on our little thing here. Go over to Coach Smook's channel. Make sure you like that stream as well. Welcome into the show, everybody. Coach Smook, how you doing, man? Good to see you.
Feeling good, bro. I'm feeling good. I'm excited. Had an eventful day. In Bama Nation. Eventful 24 hours that was entertaining for me. It was entertaining for me to watch our fan base. I know some of you, your content creators for Oklahoma, and different people were just enjoying the show at Bama Nation and Bama Twitter yesterday. I was part of that group, so I feel good today though.
Enjoy the show. Oh yeah, plenty of shows going on all around the country. It is not just, believe me, it's not just in T-Town. Coach,
oh man,
good to see you back in here tonight, Coach. Welcome back into the show. You excited about this weekend?
Yeah.
You excited about this weekend?
Oh, hell yeah, I'm excited. Kick some. We're going to be the Indiana State champs, man.
Indiana State, y'all gonna roll those cats, man. Those dudes.
We better roll their ass.
Better roll their ass.
I tell you what, they got a good foot. They do some good things, but they shouldn't stay in the game with us.
They ain't done it against anybody yet, Coach. I'm not gonna let y'all off the hook if y'all don't win this.
Right. You got it. At least handle Indiana first, man. They didn't let y'all. They done kept us out. They done let y'all and Clemson and everybody SMU up in there. Somebody got to step up. Somebody got to step up.
I think the Irish are going to be fine.
I think so too, man. I do got them in my bracket.
Awesome.
We're going to go through that here today, as a matter of fact. Welcome into the show, everybody. Comanche Sooner. Good to see you, KJ Golded, Drewski, Max Swearingen, and My Gun Sweetness. What's up, guys? Make sure you guys hit that like button. Appreciate you coming into the show. We're going to go through we're going to pick the entire college football playoffs. Obviously, you've got the games coming up this weekend, all the first round games at home sites. And, you get to – the cool thing is it's going to be in South Bend. Is it colder than shit there right now, Coach?
It is. Mm-hmm. It's cold, and on Friday it's supposed to be snowing.
That's when you wish you had an SEC team, right?
You know what? But you know what? It's okay because we got a team that loves to throw the football. And,
True.
And you know what? And Jason, you were a receiver, and it's tough playing in cold conditions like that and catching those balls zipping at you, and especially with the way Indiana throws that short pass game, the quick slants and stuff. Those balls are coming hot. Yeah, they're coming in hot.
Hurt them fingers, boy.
I don't give a shit if you got gloves on or not. That shit hurts.
You know what's crazy? It's one of those things where, man, I remember Jason, you form a military coach. You serve in the military?
No.
Man, listen. If you've never felt frostbite, try going to the range. Try qualing in anything less than like 38.
Everything they want you to call in.
I mean, oh my God. And especially like being in one of those TRADOC units, man, where they want you to do everything by the book. It's that cold ground in your hands. You can't wear gloves for real when you qualing in the cold, man. It's throw off your whole. It's crazy, man. So I can't taking hits like that on my skin in the cold. I don't care. You can wear sleeves, whatever. It ain't no difference, man.
I hated water training, bro. It was always freaking cold and dark. No. Was not a fan. And I'm a swimmer. I just hated that shit, though. He's always freezing that ass off.
Hey, real quick, Jason, can I give a shout out to my chat over here, man?
Please do. Please do.
Hey, shout out to everybody in the AAA family pulling up tonight. Make sure y'all come and check us out on Hall of Fame, Jason. That's the only reason I'm live over here, so we can kind of direct all the traffic over there. So, of course, check in here. But when you check in and like it here, make sure y'all come check it out on Hall of Fame with the coaches. Listen, we live right now. Appreciate everybody for pulling up. Rich B, BT Sports Network. Jordan, I see you.
What's good?
Jawan, I see you. Rich B, Tim, I see y'all. Appreciate y'all for pulling up. Let's turn up, man. Let's get it. Let's get it.
I'm glad to see it, man. Good to see you, Kimberly T. Jordan. Good to see you guys, man. I'm glad everybody's in here. Hello, Megan. Triple A fam in the house. We love
family reunion.
So, Coach Smook, what are you guys thinking about this thing before we hop into just picking games? Tell me what you think is who's the favorite for you, Smook?
It's pretty split for me. I like where Oregon is set up in the bracket. I like where they're set up. And they just have a consistency of play that you really can't gauge who has really tested them yet. You know,
right.
Ohio State, I think, has more flaws. I think they played their best game against Oregon, and that's what you're going to get from Ohio State. But I don't think Oregon has really been pushed to be that next level version of them. So, they could
have lost last week when they played.
Exactly. I mean, but they played that was a bad game for them, and they still were able to pull it off. So I look at their bracket. They're dealing with two inconsistent teams. Whoever come out of that match is going to be a hard-fought matchup in Ohio State, Tennessee. So I'm split between Oregon and I know Georgia is set up perfect too. You know, no shade to Notre Dame, but you know the physicality has always been an issue for Notre Dame in past when it comes to these SEC matchups. And you know, my guess is, you know, if I'm going by the favorite, if they win it and see Georgia gets a nice, you know, tune-up game. I think SMU probably comes out of that Boise State bracket, and Texas comes out of the
such a weird freaking bracket.
It's a weird bracket just saying these names in the Final Four. I'm leaning towards a Georgia-Oregon final, and I give Oregon the edge on a neutral site. I don't trust Brock Vandagriff or Carson Beck. I trust Brock Vandagriff first round, second round, the second matchup, but I don't trust him in the national.
Vandagriff. He's
not Vandagriff. I mean, Gunnar Stockton. I'm taking Gunnar Stockton.
I got thrown off for a second.
Look, Gunnar Stockton or Carson Beck. I keep calling the boy Vandagriff, but it's Gunnar Stockton, the backup quarterback at Georgia.
Yeah. Actually, he's going to be the one, right? So it looks like more than likely. I mean, the way that his Carson Beck's arm was hanging off of that shoulder there, really, the backup was better. You know,
I've been saying that. I've been calling for Gunnar Stockton. A lot of Georgia fans have been calling for Jaden Rashada. I don't like Rashada. You know, I think he gets inside his head way too much. He has flashes and he gets inside his head. But I think Georgia has probably the best first two games. Texas has an easy bracket, but they run into Oregon right there. And I think Oregon just has the more complete team when it comes time to change pace. Steve Sarkisian gets caught up in his head. Dan Lannon, that Oregon defense is fast. It's going to be a good path for Oregon.
Well, Coach, I mean, just obviously I know where you're leaning, but you know, do you see anything crazy happening in these early rounds of this thing? And we'll kind of go through all this, but do you see anything crazy? I'm gonna go ahead and share this. Do you see anything crazy going on in the first few rounds?
Well, and I tell you what, I think just looking at it early on, I think the 8 and 9 seeds, which is Ohio State and Tennessee, I think that is going to be a good ball game. I'm going to take Tennessee in that.
Wow.
I know that's not I mean, hell, 8 and 9 seed, it's not really an upset. But no, I think
it kind of go on the road though. Whenever you got to
go, and I don't trust Nico just yet, but
I don't either. But I tell you what, Ohio State shits in their pants all the time. You know, Ryan Day. You say I don't trust Nico. Hell, I don't trust Ryan Day.
I'll tell you what, Coach. You know, I heard Bjorn from the AD, the new AD there at Ohio State, said the other day, hell yes, Ryan Day's coming back. He's coming back and let you lose in round 1. And after you just lost your 4th straight to Michigan. Exactly. I couldn't imagine they even let his ass get out of the I mean, they'll have a shit packed for him in the locker room whenever he gets back in there.
Well, it's crazy to me that he's not on the hot seat. But
right.
He may not be on the hot seat with the athletic director, but he's damn sure on the hot seat with
everybody else for it.
Yeah.
Everybody else is calling for it. What do you got, Smook? Do you think there's a possible in there? Another one? Anything else you like for the upset?
I like SMU over Penn State.
I do too.
I really do. I mean, I don't think Penn State's offense is going to be able to put up enough points. Drew Aller, that big baby Ben Roethlisberger impression he want to try to pull. SMU is a swarm defense, man. They're going to cause 1 or 2.
They're the real deal.
They couldn't beat Clemson, man. Come on.
Clemson had a perfect defensive game, and SMU missed on 2 opportunities, man. One more opportunity. SMU, that's a different game. 2 opportunities, 2 big opportunities.
Well,
in that
I mean, Clemson's good enough to screw it all up, but I mean, how do you not handle that one? You know what I mean? Hey. I think Chris E's right here. Penn State crushing SMU. The trench is bigger than what they're well, no doubt, and they're not ready for that. But I think that when you play in that's the thing is I don't trust the ACC. I just don't trust the ACC, man. So I'm definitely gonna have to go with Penn State on that one. But I think there's a possible. You know what? It'd be crazy if it happened, but you could see, and this is going to be my OU side coming out of me. You could see Texas losing first round, but I think they get by that one. They're going to get their ass kicked by Arizona State, though. That's going to be my upset. It's going to probably come in round 2. But
I don't like Arizona State offensive line against Texas D line. I think that's the big
Scadaboo can wear anybody down, though. I'll tell you that.
Hey,
we'll see what happens, though. We'll see what happens. I think that, like I said, it's just the way they've been playing. It's just the way they've been playing. Who we got? Stop it, he says. Oh, you already know I ain't going. They're going to lose either first or second round. They haven't even won a bowl game under this cat. So it is what it is, man. Lost 2 in a row to Kalen DeBoer, so we know what Texas is about. And Archie ain't going to be playing, I don't think. So we'll see kind of what happens. I think they're better than Clemson too. And I don't think much of Clemson, but I do think that you never know. I mean, here's old Seawalt. He says Clemson's game plan got shot when Haynes went down pass heavy, so it was predictable. Yeah. I don't know. Seawalt, welcome into the show, sir. All right. Let's see. We'll see what ends up happening, but
let's get into it, man.
Yeah, pick them up. Who you got? Who you want to pick first? Just pick any game in the first round.
Let's go least interesting to most interesting. All right.
Facts.
Let's go ahead and call this. I think the most boring game, honestly, coming in this first round is going to be that Texas Clemson game. Mm-hmm. Like, I really do. I think Texas is going to, stump a mud hole in Clemson.
They should at home.
I mean, they should, and it's one of those things where Clemson just don't have the back end speed to really make the weakness of Quinn Ewers' passing game, which is the deep ball, the accuracy of the deep ball. They don't have the back end speed to really force them into bad situations. I don't think so. And then, like I said, I like Texas' defensive front out of everybody in the playoffs right now. I think they're in the top 3 defensive fronts out of everybody in the playoffs. Mm-hmm. So. I think I'm taking Texas first round against Clemson.
Okay. All right. Coach, which one do you want to pick first? You going to pick your boys here? Easy walk?
Oh, you know I am. I am. It's the Irish. They're a much better football team, and that way we can get to Shoddy and his boys, so we can show them how to play some boring football.
See, now I was hoping that Shoddy would come in, just to, have a little shit talking going back and forth.
That would have been perfect.
Brother. Come on in.
Come on, Shoddy. Come on, Shoddy. Come on in. Come on in and talk to my boring ass.
Coach is always he's gonna be talking some shit. You know, it's what he always says too. You know, it's You
know what, guys? In a nice way, fuck y'all. We don't give a shit.
There you go. That was right there for Shawty, man. All right. So let's we be tripping, man.
Oh man.
All right. Stated it was a tune-up game. The co-host stated it was a tune-up game. I didn't say it was a tune-up game. I ain't saying nothing. All right. I've got Notre Dame stomping a mud hole in Indiana for sure. I would say that I got to pick Texas, like I said, in that first game. But I do think that with the Tennessee-Ohio State game, I think Ohio State, when they get into the kind of game that you're going to have to get into with Tennessee, because they're not as high-flying as you want them to be, but they will hit your ass in the mouth. They've got probably the best defensive line depth-wise in the country. I think they've got a great run defense. That's what you need to probably do in this game, and I don't know if they're going to be able to do it. So we've seen, like Coach said, they kind of shit on their leg. I could definitely see Tennessee winning that game, even though it is in the shoe. It's a tough one to pick there, but I'm going to go with Tennessee.
Bet. Now, Jason, can we like dissect SMU Penn State? I think that even though I think SMU wins it, this is an interesting one to me because you got a contrast of strengths, right?
Yeah.
SMU, we know that offense can score fast, but we also seen them grind out 6-7 minute drives late in the season. Like they started, but Rhett Lashley and that offense have been like they know how to control tempo, and they don't have the biggest offensive line. They got 2 nasty tackles. Like they really depend on perimeter style play. You know, trying to that dive, that zone read style run scheme, and
right.
So I think Penn State is going to struggle the way that they were getting moved around. Somebody in my chat was talking about it against Ohio State. Ohio State offensive line, you know, they get a lot of credit. They get overhyped because of the competition they play early in the season, but they are not good. I think SMU is athletic enough to really scheme up. Rhett Lashley going to scheme up a couple of, you know, eye candies type run schemes to get that Penn State defensive line that's really not athletic. They're disciplined, but they're not athletic. Get them off balance and catch them in a lot of bad spots early on to get that score, trying to get them into that shootout.
Well, I mean, I just don't have any trust in them. The 2 good teams or halfway good teams they've played this year, they haven't won the game. So I just can't. I feel like Penn State's going to find a way to get that done. I like Drew Aller enough, and I think they're going to be able to run the ball enough to kind of grind them down. That's just kind of where I'm at on it. But I like Rhett. I like what they're doing there so far. I like their quarterback. But if it gets into an ugly game, they don't have a chance. They just don't have a chance to play like that. So if you allow it to you got to get out there. And now I will say this, if SMU can get out there and put points up early and get ahead, absolutely they can play in this game.
Mm-hmm. That's why I think that's the go-to for them there. That's their only chance.
It has to be, right? That's the only way you can figure that it's going to work out for you. So, yeah, to me, I think that absolutely. I think overall, is there a shot there? Yeah, man, listen, if you believe in James Franklin, you know what I mean? It's a little wild at this point. So I don't. I think that there's definitely a chance for them to win that game, but we'll have to wait and see how it goes as far as I'm concerned. Right now I'm picking Penn State. I think that they should find a way to get that done. So that leaves us pretty much. So I think we're all in agreement with all these. Did you pick the Notre Dame Indiana game there, Smook?
Yeah, I had Notre Dame. I just like you all were saying, Indiana to me has been a fluke all season. I mean, they benefited. They handled business with those lesser talent, and I didn't realize how many teams came into the season on their schedule like with 2nd and 3rd string quarterbacks.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't realize that. So I mean, Indiana, they're going to have to show me. And I don't think Notre Dame's defense is giving up anything with that limited offense. They sneaky on the perimeter, but Notre Dame got some back end speed this season.
Man, I'll tell you now, Notre Dame is one of the teams that I think is going to make real noise in this. Their defense is as good as anybody in the country. Their front 7 is unbelievable. And, you know, their offensive line, they've got 2 guys that run the football. And Jeremiah Love is just a dog. straight up.
Facts.
And they got 2 of them coming at you. I just like where they are, man. And I don't think much of Indiana. They didn't play anybody, anybody. So it's other than the Ohio State game, and they got drug. So yeah, I don't love them. I think that's an easy one. The next game is going to be the fun one. Obviously, we can kind of start off with that. If we've all got Penn State, or Coach, did you have SMU winning that one?
No, I've got Penn State. I think, like we talked about, you guys were talking about, I think if SMU could jump out early, jump up 14 to 21 points, then they could make a real run at it. But
yeah, it's kind of hard for Penn State to make runs like that, right?
Yeah, I don't see it happening. And I tell you what, I would love to see SMU win that. But I tell you what, that part of the bracket right there is, to me, is your way to the toilet bowl, because that's a shitty ass bracket part right there.
Yeah,
I mean,
I'm gonna go. If I gotta be different, I'm sticking with SMU. I got a special feeling about them. I think they got enough magic to do the last one upset to get them hype, and to see the SMU Boise State matchup. That's gonna be funny. Like I think that's gonna be a fun one to watch. I think you have more fun watching SMU Boise State. I think is
I agree with that.
Okay.
I mean, a beat up SMU against a Boise State team is going to be a great game. Penn State going to get SMU's best game plan. Rhett Lashley's had 3 weeks now to prep for this. They're going to jump out, man. Yeah. They're going to catch Penn State. It's all about if they can make those 1 or 2 plays they couldn't make against Clemson. I put Penn State and Clemson on the same level.
The one thing is Andy Koltanecki has changed the offense somewhat, and look at the game plan. They ran all over Oregon in that game, and that's why, to me, the Oregon got lucky because their run defense was trash. As good as they are getting to the quarterback, and they are, Oregon, their run defense did not. That was kind of a bad look, because had it not been for some of those stupid mistakes that Penn State made, it would have been crazy. Hey, what's up? What's up?
Nelio.
Can you tell us? Nelio, thanks for the super chat. He said, what can you tell us? Fellas, what can you tell us? Tuesday evening, everyone. Good to see you, Nelio.
What's good, Nelio?
Yeah. Appreciate it. Appreciate all you AAA fan members that are popping in here, man. We appreciate everybody coming in. Ryman Lennon's in here. We got my guy, Just My Damn Opinion. Swearingen. Let's see who else. Jordan, welcome in. Good to see everybody in here, man. Good to see all y'all in here. Let's see who else we got. Ryman came in. Scott Walker, Goof, DJ Specs. Chrissy's always in here. He's a Penn State /CU fan. Donald, Goated. What's up, guys? Jordan Wright, Kimberly T. Glad to see everybody in here. All right. Now, let's go to, I guess, did you pick the Tennessee Ohio State, Smook?
Yeah, I had Tennessee pulling it off too.
So we all got Tennessee winning that game. Okay.
I don't like Nico. I like Nico better than I like Will. Right. I just think the only real advantage Ohio State has for real, it looks good on paper. Yeah. And they're at home. That's the only advantage I see with Ohio State. It looks good on paper and they're at home. Ryan Day, Chip Kelly, they got to show me something.
Yeah. I like the D for Tennessee.
I do too. I think that their defense is going to get after them a little bit, and if you can get that game, look at, the only thing that Michigan did was stick to the old game plan, and we're going to outmuscle y'all's asses, period.
Yeah. I hate my chat, bro. I hate my chat.
Why?
Yeah, I think Coach is figuring out what's happening. And they over here, I see the eyeballs in the chat. Shut up right now. He likes the defense for Tennessee. Everybody go to bed. He said, I just like the D for Tennessee. And I just paused. I was trying my best not to.
Had to go there,
and I know that I love it, man. Y'all are so ignorant, man. I love it. This is what we call family reunion, man. They love when we get together, and it's crazy because they'll get in the Discord. You see it, Jason. They get in the Discord. They was like, oh, we was at Hall of Fame. We was at the HOF last night.
Hey, yeah. Now they were talking about the D in there.
That's funny.
No one is exempt, as he says. Smook knows when he sees good D.
Shut up, Ryman.
Ryman, my man.
Oh, man.
Megan, not go to bed. Let's see. Mars Jams, what's up? What's up? T Boomer, good to see you, my man. Keep chopping. Good to see everybody. Good to see everybody. That's some funny shit, man.
Oh, man.
Bishop Frank, what's up, my man? All right. So we all got Tennessee. All right. So let's so wait a minute then. If we all just took Tennessee, then we basically saying that Ryan Day is about to find his ass on the sidewalk.
Yeah, I'm ready for that. I'm not gonna lie. That's a big drive from my pick. I want to see that happen. Like, I want to see how fast it happens.
You know what? And I don't want to see it happen. I hope that some bitch has a lifetime job at Tennessee.
Right.
You mean at Ohio State?
At Ohio State.
I mean, Ohio State. Y'all got me all screwed up here on
the D, man. He's talking about the D. Look at him.
That's some tough D, man. But yeah, I'm that's what I'm excited about, man. I'm excited to see. I think that I just believe they fold, man. It's an Ohio State thing. The moment's too big. They're pissing down their leg. You know what my guy Coach 30 say? Like, the moment's too big. Is he's got to show me. And Chip Kelly, it's like he's not there to help right now. It's like he's waiting for them to get out of his way. He just,
what the hell was that game plan against Michigan? Now, but I mean, Michigan showed you do what you could do, right? But I mean, yeah, I think it's crazy. But I would tell you this: if he loses, it's going to be Vrabel coming in is not a big surprise. I don't think, right? It's got to be. Nick Anderson just committed to LSU. Yeah, I saw that. It pretty much saw that coming too. Hey man, whatever, bro. They always have good receivers, and it is what
we just got Keon Collins. We just got Kelby Collins out of Florida, the transfer defensive end, edge rusher from Florida. The kid he should have been at Bama originally 2 years ago. I'm not gonna lie. He could have been where Quay Rusar is right now.
Hey, Bog, you want to pop in with this, Big Mike? He said, convince some serious mouth breathers made this bracket. It's weird the way that we were talking about that when Big Mike Boganowski was on with us, and it was hilarious because he was like, what the hell's going on with this bracket? And it is pretty wild, dude. Why isn't the one ugly bracket, playing the winner, or it should at least reseed, because the one should not be having to play the 8-9 instead of the. I think Oregon has the toughest road.
They do.
Like,
I don't know, because I think
Georgia and Notre Dame have a tough road too. But I'm saying, you know what I mean?
Yeah, Oregon shouldn't have to be.
They should get the loser. They should get the winner.
They ought to get the easiest.
They ought to get
the easiest winner.
Yep.
Yes. And I tell you what, that's one thing that, and again, we're getting a little off topic maybe here, but again, you know what? If you've got your top four, you can guarantee they go into the bracket, but that doesn't mean that they're all going to get buys. Or not buys, but they're not all, this will eliminate having, Boise State. Boise State, they deserve a buy. Come on, guys. Shit. Yeah. So you got to do some work on that. Yeah, they've been buying that. And hopefully they're buy pretty quick too. But again, there's got to be some changes made to this bracket. But I'm going to tell you another interesting thing. I feel like
I don't mind I don't love auto bids at all, but what I really hate is auto seeding. Auto seeding.
That's what. Yeah. There you go, Jason.
I don't like that shit at all. I think that it's ridiculous that you would have. Look, they're talking about the best teams, and they don't. First of all, that didn't happen.
That didn't happen.
You
Close
know
to
damn
it,
good
brother.
and well that didn't happen. And yes,
Right.
South Carolina, you still don't belong. It is what it is. You still don't belong, South Carolina. We still going to tell you that all day on this show.
You give an Ole Miss ASU spot though, right?
Yeah.
I'm giving Ole Miss ASU spot.
Anybody but South Carolina because they didn't beat Ole Miss or Alabama.
Right, and that's what I'm saying. I'm giving Alabama a Clemson spot.
Mm-hmm.
I'm giving ASU. I'm putting Texas where they should be, which is right there at number 4. And we're talking realistic. Giving the automatic 4 seeds to the conference champions. Give your conference champions their automatic playoff.
No way. This is right. There's no way that Boise State is a top 4 team when they won the Mountain Damn West.
And they didn't. Their strength of schedule, nothing helps their resume. Nothing helps their resume other than their win-loss record looking better than the majority of the teams that's eligible for this playoff. That's the only difference for Boise State. And so I kept looking at the verbiage of what they were saying when they kept saying strength of schedule, and that last week, man, they flipped the whole meaning. They took black and white and really did not stick to it.
Right. It don't even make any sense. And like they literally got themselves talked into SMU because Dabo sat there and said, well, this is a playoff team. Yeah, because you didn't want to have to play Alabama. You know damn good and well you did it. You didn't want them in there. You guys did everybody a favor by doing that, but it was bullshit. Look, I don't understand why we're talking about good losses. Or is that what we're really freaking down to?
What the fuck is a good loss?
It's all in there. It's in there how they're judging all this shit, man. Because
a good loss,
a loss to a good team.
I never had one of them. Stupidest
shit I've ever heard myself. I agree. They got to do something.
I don't think there's good losses, but you got quality games. Like you could lose a quality game. You can be a number 1 team.
Still lost a damn football game.
Yeah, they lost, but you could be a number 1 team playing against a number 4 team, and literally the separation between number 1 and number 4 shouldn't be that much. If you lose that game by 3 or you go in there, that's what I'm saying. When we have to turn on the film at some point when we start seeding these rankings, and you can phase it. You can put it the last 2 weeks of the college football rankings and judge what they're currently producing to do the final seeding. But it's so much. So man, what game we on? Because we're gonna go on about that all night, man.
Yeah, no, we don't have to continue on this. Yeah. Now we've got let's say we know for sure that we've got Oregon and Tennessee because we all picked Tennessee. Coach, who you got in Oregon versus Tennessee?
I take Oregon.
Okay, so Oregon into the semifinal.
Mm-hmm.
For Coach, okay, we all have Texas as well. Coach, you can go ahead and pick them if you want.
I'll take Texas.
Tejas.
Yeah.
Tejas over Arizona State, so they're in the semis against Oregon. Okay, Coach Smook, who you got in it'll be Georgia and Notre Dame.
I got Georgia, man. I just think it's too much of a matchup for 4 quarters for Notre Dame. Neutral field hurts them. It hurts them, man. I could look at the screen when I said it. If they was in that bottom bracket, I for real give it to them, bro. But I give them a fighting chance in that bottom bracket right there with 3, 6, and 11 at. But to get Georgia, that's gonna be one. And that's gonna be a Kirby Smart team that's healthy. As far as the defense side, but you know what? They are replacing. Isn't Georgia replacing 2 starters in the secondary coming into the playoffs?
You know what? I'm not sure about it. I hadn't looked at that, but it sounds right.
I know one of the corners is in the portal. Humphreys is in the portal. I can't remember if it was the wide receiver or the corner.
Play though. Yeah. This is the time for you're gonna have to hear this.
You know what, guys? In a nice way, fuck y'all. We don't give a shit.
Oh hell yeah!
Who you got, Coach? Who you got, Coach?
And take a guess. And I'm going to follow that
win? Convince me why they're going to win, Coach. Come on.
Well, I tell you what, guys, we can talk about we hadn't played a tough schedule. We haven't, we lost the second week of the season to piss poor football team. I mean, there's lots of reasons to say Notre Dame doesn't have a chance to win this. But I'm going to tell you, we probably have the best 1-2 punch in the backfield in the nation. And running the ball, we've got, like I said, the best 1-2 punch, but don't leave Riley Leonard out of that because he runs the ball really well. So we've got a triple threat running attack. Now, are we a big time passing attack? No, but I tell you what, our RPO game has really improved. We've gotten better and better. Riley Leonard has gotten better, and we've got a defense that can step up and play. We're a physical football team, and I truly believe we're in a good place. I'll follow this up by saying, little ones bunch up, big ones line up.
Hell yeah.
We're gonna whip your ass, and it's gonna start against Indiana. And I tell you what, guys, if people think Notre Dame's scared of Georgia, you know what? Let's do some comparison in one game. Georgia Tech. Damn, 8 overtimes, boys. 8 overtimes. Damn. Georgia Tech, not that damn good. We beat the shit out of Georgia Tech.
Can I let my SEC come out?
You let it rip.
Because I don't care for Georgia. I don't care for Georgia. I don't even root for them. I mean, if this was a bowl game, I'd be against Georgia just to get on the fans' nerve. But I'm gonna be SEC biased right here. My thing is everything you said is valid, Coach. I like Notre Dame's run game. I think they're going to present a problem, but I don't think they have enough to present a problem for 3 quarters to make it a 4-quarter game. I think I think a healthy Georgia defensive front, man, and loud-nosed, not putting pressure on the secondary, and that's what you're going to have to do, whether you complete the downfield shots or not. You're going to have to make them believe that you're going to be able to test them and get their secondary hips turned and opened up to respect the pass game, because if they're tiptoeing towards the line of scrimmage, that's when Georgia looks like that 2021 defense where they only average giving up like 7 points a game going into the SEC championship.
Yep.
Yeah, that's because you're not able to test them vertically. If you try that 4 or 5 times in your first 11 pass attempts, you might have a chance, but I don't think I don't know. I haven't seen Notre Dame really go away from what they bread and butter is. Their discipline. They're going to execute. It's about who's going to win, and I think Georgia just has that manpower, that depth that Notre Dame is not going to be able to just withstand for 3 quarters, let alone a 4-quarter game.
Well, and I will tell you, I agree with some of those statements. I think that Georgia does have a great defense. I'm not superly impressed with their O-line.
I give you that.
I think defensively we'll be able to hurt them. I truly believe it'll be a close ball game when we play Georgia.
Look, I think it's going to be a close game too, but I'm going to tell you this. I'm with you, Coach. I think they win this game. I think that Notre Dame finds a way to win this game because you know what? They have the number 3 scoring defense in the country. They're giving up a total of they're giving up 12.4 points per game. Look, since the NIU loss, they have blown everybody up. Anybody that was in their way, the teams that you're supposed to do that to, because we know that the schedule wasn't crazy hard. The best team you probably played was probably Louisville and then SC at the end. And SC, even though they weren't what they should be, they were better than what we expected them to be, I think. But they still rolled over. And look at what they did to pretty much everybody else. To me, when you have that two-headed monster, plus you're going to stop the run, you're going to be in that game in the fourth quarter. Why can't you be in that game in the fourth quarter? And guess what? The trenches is where you're probably the best at Notre Dame. I honestly think that this is the time that they figure it out. And because, look, Georgia has shown that they can lose games like this year. They damn near lost the game to Kentucky like that. Look at what they did whenever they got beat up on the line against Ole Miss. They got the shit kicked out of them. This game, I think it's a bad matchup. Styles make fights. I think this is a bad matchup for Georgia right here. It really is, because Notre Dame is one of the more physical teams in the country. I'm going to go with
Georgia undefeated at home.
Sure.
After a bye week, anything more than 7 days, undefeated. And I think they only have 2 losses in neutral sites. And guess who they to?
I don't care. I'm
just telling you, man. This is Kirby Smart in that defense.
I understand that, but
if Notre Dame try to win the trench war, go ahead.
They're number 9 in total defense. They're only giving up. They're only giving up 280 yards, 290 yards a game,
bro. You think,
come on, man,
that Kirby Smart is going to come out after 3.5 weeks of preparation, or however long, and let a Notre Dame front on either side of the ball try to physically impose? That's not happening, dog. I don't see it. They're going to have to fix it up crazy.
Part of their game, though, and they've got a good offensive line and they run the football well. This is going to be.
D-line hasn't seen this type of Georgia line as many spots as we have with Georgia's execution and their offensive line production. Bro, talent is going to end up being a problem at some point of the game.
What did Georgia Tech do?
I mean, Georgia Tech.
Oh my God! Are you kidding me?
They didn't have the talent. What are we talking about?
No, you better go look at Georgia Tech's front.
Yeah,
you got like 6 or 7 SEC transfers on that roster.
Their ass like a redheaded stepchild.
And what week was that?
The week we played them.
Coach, I'm just saying, Coach. I'll give you this, Coach. I'll give you this. This is the matchup where if Georgia comes out flat, they can get caught slipping. But I don't think Georgia comes out flat. They come in with a backup quarterback. I don't
want Georgia out flat. I want the best shit they have.
Hey,
I don't want no flat.
You ready for that BTA?
Bring your best. Bring your best. Because you're gonna fucking need it. You're gonna need it.
Here we go. And hey, he's this is all going right at
Hey, I got Georgia fans in my chat. Hold on, Jay. Jay Green over my chat says, "Tell him, Smook." Look, roll dogs.
I love it. That was awesome. Notre Dame is capable of losing to Northwest. What? To Illinois.
Yeah.
UGA. Northern Illinois. Okay. All right. Hey, I'm gonna go with them. I'm. You know what? I know everybody's gonna be surprised, but I'm gonna go with them here. All right. So here we go.
Watch party. I feel a watch party for that one.
Yeah.
We gotta do a virtual watch party.
Oh, there's gonna be a watch party for that one.
Absolutely.
So yeah. All right. Everybody had. Well, no. Who had SMU? You had SMU against Boise State in that second round.
Mm-hmm.
Who do you got in that one?
I got if SMU gets there. Like I said, I really think that Penn State, SMU, that's the one I'm drawing, and I'm just picking SMU because I don't like Penn State. And I just think SMU offense is different. Now, Boise State and SMU, who's stopping Genchi for SMU? You know, can that defense corral enough? Do they have enough? I mean, team speed, because that's what it's going to take. Because they don't have the advantage up front.
Well,
they're going to have to scheme up to really get the ball out of Genchi's hand. But on the other side, Boise State defense,
for sure, right? You're going to have to go out there and put some points up, but you're going to have to be able to stop the run. And that's all they're going to do.
Yeah, so that's going to be a shootout. If I got to go with it, man, neutral site, I'm taking the run game. You can control the clock a little bit more.
Boise State.
And that's the funny thing about it, bro. Look at the bracket.
It's trash.
Boise State could do the same thing to Penn State, in my opinion. They could do the same thing to Penn State. Penn State's not going to win a shootout.
They got an automatic bye, but they gave them the damn 3 seed. Like, what in the fuck, man? Unbelievable. Unbelievable stuff.
It's crazy because they can do the same game plan against Penn State.
Shot to getting to the semifinals and into the championship than even Oregon has.
Oregon, right? Georgia, even that because like we just had the debate about Georgia. I could see Georgia showing up flat against Notre Dame.
I could see them losing the game. You could see either one of those teams losing that game.
Exactly.
There ain't no way in hell. I'm gonna say this: Penn State is getting its way through, not Boise State, because that's bullshit. They're gonna beat their ass too. Penn State's gonna be in that bracket with either Notre Dame, or if you're right, Georgia, and they're gonna get their ass kicked there. But I don't believe in Boise State. I don't believe in. I certainly didn't believe in SMU, but I don't believe in Boise State at all. And I can't believe that that's where they are. There's no way.
Somebody said Clemson winning it all.
Clemson winning it all. Who said this?
Who said that? Don't you let Dabo see that.
House Bunny said it. Oh, there ain't no damn way that Clemson's winning it either.
Hey, Tim, appreciate you for becoming a member of the AAA over there, man. Didn't want to let it go by without you getting shouted out, man. I know y'all enjoyed the content tonight. Make sure y'all jump over on Jason's side, man. HOF college football right here, man. We lit, man. Y'all just don't know. That Georgia, y'all got me looking at this Georgia Notre Dame game because I'm telling you, I factored in everything. Coach, I just don't see it. I look at games when Notre Dame, where they look dominant at, and I don't see them being able to toss around Georgia's left guard they're gonna be healthy. They coming back healthy.
Yeah. We're about as healthy as we can be. We're down several starters on defense and even on offense. But you know what? Next man up. True. Still kicking ass. Still taking names.
Still kicking ass.
It's coming, man. It's coming. I can already tell you that this is going to be fun. This is going to be fun this next few weeks. Watch with this one, especially because, man, I don't think Indiana's. This is another thing. They don't have a shot there. Indiana's going to get the shit kicked out of them. So let's go over to everybody has Arizona State taking on Texas. So, Smook, who you got?
I got Texas. I do. I think Texas needs that first round game, honestly, in my opinion, to kind of establish some momentum. I think a first round bye would have hurt them. I think Sarkisian gets to get a good gauge of what his personnel is doing, their mode of how they're approaching the game, and he kind of rolls through that Clemson mismatch and uses the leverage concepts against Arizona State, because Arizona, like we was talking about it earlier, Arizona State's front is real nice. Like they're deceptive, nice, their defensive front. But I think we got more so of a mismatch problem out there with on the perimeter offensively. Texas offense having the edge, and I think defensively Texas front is going to be able to stack up against that running back from Arizona State. Man, I think he's tough. But you're dealing with Texas has a real SEC defensive line rotation. They got about 6 or 7 guys right now that they're going to be able to keep fresh, and Arizona State going to have to be able to beat them in the secondary. They're going to have to be able to beat them over top more often than none, and I just don't see them happening. So I got Texas.
Coach, who you got?
Well, on paper, it's Texas, but I'm picking ASU because Texas always finds a way to piss down their leg. and I mean, you look at their history, guys. And I think Arizona State is the type of football team that could
What did you say?
pull up. I think they could pull off an upset here. I really do.
What did you say?
I said horns down.
The brand has finally returned. Fuck your brand.
Shout out to Oni Kuno. Yeah, hey, Texas gets beat. Texas is going to lose this game. It would not even shock me if they lost to Clemson. It wouldn't. I'm not crazy enough to pick Clemson here, but I'm going to tell you, ASU is going to get them. They're going to look, they've played good defense. They run the football. And you know what? I like their defensive front somewhat. It's not as good as everybody acts like it is. They haven't played anybody either. They played the JV schedule of freaking SEC games. I mean, come on.
Yeah, we're going to give them that. But I think when we look at some of these matchups,
schedule, listen,
especially like Georgia and Notre Dame, I don't think y'all accounting for the team speed on these matchups, man.
I'm counting for it. I'm telling you that they're going to turn it into a different kind of game, and that's not. Look, I think that this is with Cam Scatterboo. He's going to run over your asses. They're going to have to out muscle them, and I don't know that they're going to do it. And they should win, but just like Coach said, they'll find a way to piss it away. And I'll tell you another thing: when it comes to coaches, y'all gonna get me talking. I still don't believe in Sark. I still don't believe in Sark a little bit, not even a little bit.
Me neither.
Bishop Frank, thank you for the gift in that membership. Appreciate that. Is wide receiver still out? Probably Neilio, but hell, they had other dudes that stepped up and made plays. And look, they got a good quarterback situation too. That's the other thing.
They do.
What are you gonna get from Quinn? What are you gonna get from Quinn? Because
the best thing that can happen to Texas is
Prozac pregame. That's what he's
pull yours out. Pull yours out of the game.
That's what I said too. I feel like if Archie Manning gets an opportunity, especially against Clemson, to build some momentum, that'll be a problem for Arizona State. He does.
I agree.
He does pose a different threat in the passing game, but even athletically, you seen like he shut my mouth with some of the plays he made with his legs this season. I didn't give him credit coming out of high school.
Mm-hmm.
You see the development during that freshman year. I mean, he looks good, man. He looks good.
No, he's played well when he's gotten in there. Now Sark doesn't seem to trust him for whatever reason.
I mean, bro, you got too much money in Quinn right now.
Well, I'm just going to tell you, Sam Levitt has been great though for Arizona, for Arizona State. They've been great for him, and man, they're just on a roll. There's something going on that. Yeah. Do you really see UT scoring on Clemson? Says house money. I mean, listen, you don't have to do a whole lot of convincing for me to think they're going to lose that game. House money. I mean, just so you understand.
Yeah, I agree.
I see Texas,
but I think Texas wins that game.
I see Texas edging that game out. I see that one being a sloppy one for them. I give y'all that one. But I think the matchup with Arizona State, man, the team speed, especially with Texas's offense compared to Arizona State.
He knows the SEC, man. He's been in the SEC. That's what he's been trying to build it. Just like we talk about Oregon, what they've been doing. He's trying to do the same thing. And he's got that team believing, and they believe in each other. This is the time that Texas gets shaky. If it's a close game, they're going to lose one of them. You can bet on it. And look, man, you can say whatever you want about who's saying it, but it is what it is. I'll just, you take your receipts, Texas fans, take your receipts. I'll be here. I ain't going nowhere. So, I'll go ahead and pick right there. So I said that, I've got Penn State winning because I have them going through. Coach, do you have Penn State getting past Boise? Coach Roybal?
Yeah, I do. As much as I hate to say it, but yes.
Well, it's just, I mean, Franklin got that nice little run, but he's going to get knocked out of it at some point. But I don't think.
I just don't think it's against Boise
or SMU has enough to deal with what they're going to do. They're just, man, they don't belong. They just don't belong.
I'm telling y'all, man, SMU gonna come out with both of them big old.
Why do you believe in SMU exactly?
Huh?
Why is it that you believe in SMU exactly?
I love that offense. I love what Rhett Lashley does on the fly. You don't get the same explosive offense from SMU. They've done it 6 or 7 different ways all season. That game against Clemson, and there was spots, that was a bright moment for them.
Right.
I think them on the road having to experience that against Clemson, seeing that slip through their hands against Clemson, it sets them up for this moment right here, man. It sets them up for this moment right here. I know the weather is a factor and all that, but I really think schematically, I don't think Penn State has it.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So Smook,
what's up, man?
You've been kind of referring to backgrounds of football teams and their histories a little bit about being good. And have you looked at SMU's history?
I have. I know they've been under probation, but I've also watched them for the past 3 years.
Been under probation in 30 years. I don't have shit.
I'm saying, we seen what that did to their program. That you don't recover at SMU like you could at Alabama or Florida.
They got more money than God. What do you mean?
Come on, man. Stop it. Stop it.
They really do.
Stop it.
I'm just saying.
I like SMU, man. And when I come back, what I'm saying is that
we're gonna hold that receipt too, because I don't see that one. But do you see Boise beating them, or you said Boise, right? So you got Boise going in.
No, I don't got. If SMU beat Penn State, I got SMU going and getting blew out in that semifinal.
Okay. They're gonna play Georgia.
I don't. You know what? I don't. Whoever come out of that bracket, they getting eaten alive. I'm for real, because if Georgia doesn't make it in Notre Dame, I think Notre Dame rides a high and just murderlize whoever comes out of there. You know,
either one of us is going to come out and kill the other side of that bracket.
That bracket, man. That's why I was looking. I was like, man, if Alabama mess around,
that's why I called it the toilet bowl.
Whew.
Hey, thanks for the super chat there, South Texas. He says, "Ring the little bike bell." That's good stuff. Hey man, appreciate it. Yeah, that's for that training wheel schedule. You know, the little girl in pigtails riding her little bike. That's what I picture every time.
Lemonade.
SMU got horses. A pun. House money, no doubt. That's good stuff. All right, can't wait to see everybody have a meltdown when Mateer goes to Miami. I'm not melting down. You guys ain't gonna get me started on that tonight. I'm just gonna tell you now. I don't give I'm just gonna tell you. I think that we're fine in that quarterback room. We are fine in that quarterback room. So here we go. All right. So that leaves. I hadn't picked the Oregon, Tennessee. Man. I think if Tennessee's going to get by that first one in a neutral site, I think that their defense is going to give Oregon a hard time. And I think that they're going to try to run it. I mean, they're going to run the shit out of the ball. That's what they do. So I think that they can I don't think Oregon, I think it's a bad place for them. But I think that Tennessee can win that game. I really do.
Well, I'm going to say this, guys. I mean, I'm going to say this, and we all know this.
Yeah,
guys, it's hard to go through a whole season undefeated. I mean, it really is. And I mean, and unfortunately, Oregon has stored it up for this time of the year. And so, wow, I honestly think that Oregon has more pressure than anybody in this bracket to keep winning. It's going to be tough. So I would agree with that a little bit, Jason.
So you're going with Tennessee also?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. So we both got you got Oregon going through is what you said earlier, right, Smook?
I got Oregon, and I'm gonna tell you why I got Oregon.
Okay.
I think there's enough emotional fatigue with Tennessee and Ohio State. I think there's enough adversity because I think Tennessee is probably one of your top 6 teams next year again. Like honestly.
Agreed.
I think this is their peak. I think we see their peak in an Ohio State win, and then Oregon just has one step and one extra week too much just to get by. Not blow them out, but to get by and put Oregon back on track to keep them from losing the game. Kind of like what you said, Coach. Being in that mental fatigue throughout the season, being perfect. I think whoever comes out of that matchup after that win between Texas and ASU is the one that'll get them knowing that the national championship is there, that's when I think it'll get them. Kind of like the Chargers for years and the Colts.
Right. Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Man.
You have a good point.
Listen, I don't think ASU can get past either one of them, but I do think that Tennessee can. And I think, I've got Tennessee winning it. So I don't know, man. And the crazy part about it is I'm coming into this thing, and even up until the championship game in the Big Ten, I've been high on Oregon. I've been high on them the whole way, their defense, everything else. But that run defense concerns me. And I said this about Notre Dame. I'll say this here too. I think that Tennessee presents a game plan that it's a bad matchup for them. Yep. They gave up 300 yards to Penn State, and they're going to run the ball a hell of a lot better than Penn State did. They just are. Dylan Sampson is doing his thing, man. He's been doing it all year, right?
If Tennessee is still healthy after the Ohio State game, especially at that right guard and right tackle position, y'all might be on to something. It's going to be a tough one, though. I'm telling y'all, man. I
think it's a bad matchup for Oregon, and I'm telling you, I think that if they got the right bracket, you definitely could see them getting to the championship game, because I think they're ultra talented everywhere. I love what they do in pass pro, but I mean, I think you just saw the blueprint of beating them and in front of God and everybody, because that was the only game on.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I know what Josh is going to go do. It's crazy, but that's what's going to happen, in my opinion. You know, we'll see what happens, but damn. Like I said, I got Notre Dame as well, and then of course, so I've got a Final Four of Georgia, Penn State, Tennessee, and ASU. That's fucking wild. All right.
That's ugly.
Coach has got, I think you got the same one, right, Coach? Yeah.
No, I got Oregon. Oh, wait, you talking Coach?
Coach Royball's got the same. Yeah, it's the same. Yeah. What do you got, Coach? You've got Oregon.
I got Oregon, Texas, Georgia, SMU.
Okay, Georgia, SMU. Okay, got you. Perfect.
That's ugly too. Like Oregon,
it's an ugly bracket.
Well, let me.
Never going to be pretty.
Hey, before we get to the national championship, let me ask you all one question. Look at this bracket. Look at all the teams in it.
Mm-hmm.
How many teams actually have a shot to win it? I was sitting here counting mine.
Well, I think 1, 2, 3, 4.
All right, Coach. Can I spark something else before?
Five of those.
Can I spark something before you give your answer? Because
sure.
Yeah, sure.
Out of these 12 teams, let's not even go all season. The last 4 weeks of the season, what team showed you who they were? Those last 4 weeks, conference championship included, everything included, coming into the playoffs is the best team and really can say that they're the complete team that could win it. Because when I think of it like that, I could see one Georgia team showing up and then another Georgia team showing up against Notre Dame or Indiana. I could see it once Indiana team that looked great one week show up, and then or that you get what I'm saying. So this is the type, as ugly as this bracket is, it can be some good games, y'all. Put our fandom aside and everything. Could be.
But I want what you believe are the legitimate possibilities of winning the title.
Best foot forward. I got 1. Best foot forward. 1, 2, 4.
Yeah, I got 4 to 5, and 5 is being generous with Texas, because I don't think they're going to win.
Yeah, that's what my generous was. But and that's like without putting them in a bracket, Coach. You just saying like the 12 teams that's in the playoffs right now, if they had to, like, if you just mixed it up and you kind of mashed them up, best game forward, how many could probably win it for real? I say 4. Georgia. I give Georgia, Ohio State,
right,
Tennessee, Oregon in that order.
Yeah, and I do think Ohio State is talented enough to win. I don't see them winning, but I do think that they could. You know,
but I look at it and I see 8 teams. I'm long ways off from you guys.
Okay.
But I see Oregon could win it. I think Ohio State could win it.
Definitely.
I think Tennessee could win it. I think the Texas Longhorns could win it. I think, and this one I'm stretching, but I still think if things fell right, they could win it. Clemson.
Yeah.
I think Georgia.
Shit, no.
I think
that defense could slow you down, and you just might just.
Their defense is an equalizer. You're not wrong.
Yeah.
You're not wrong.
I think Georgia. I think Notre Dame. And as much as I hate to say it, Penn State. I think all 8 have a chance. I'm not saying they're locked.
If you know, the thing is do you have to subscribe to the belief that you can get hot like you would in the NFL playoffs.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying too. Like that's why I said best foot forward. If I put every team best product on the field and just threw them out there, let's roll the dice and we put Penn State against Clemson's best, Penn State and Clemson's best. That's a solid game, and that's one you could see if whoever wins it put their best foot forward, they could possibly go through that bracket and really play it. You get what I'm saying? And create that type of momentum. But it's teams like Indiana, Boise State, ASU, SMU. I think those are burnout teams. You know what I'm saying? They'll probably go crazy the first round, but they're burnout teams. But these other teams,
they're not going to win. I mean, I think that in the end, I think ASU it's too much for them. I think it's too much for Clemson too. But I certainly don't think that Indiana, Boise State, or SMU is going to win this game.
Yeah,
I just don't.
So okay. So with that being said, do y'all take your 4, and does that change your mind any at all on sticking to the 4?
No, just because of where this stupid seating makes everybody fall for me.
So that brings my next question. So because of the seating, is 12 teams too many, guys?
Coach, you making too much sense, Coach.
Should it be 8 teams instead of 12 teams? And we're looking at making it larger. Just food for thought, boys. Food for thought.
And I would tell you that, I mean, should it be a smaller deal? I agree. That's not where we're headed, though. I mean, we could do this all day.
I know that.
We're never headed there. We're headed the other way. So
exactly.
And the reason I think we're headed the other way, though, is because of just having 3 SEC teams in there, when there was at least 4 that were good enough, that were better than a lot of the teams in this bracket.
Yes.
And we can sit here and say, that's just SEC bullshit talk. No, it isn't. No, it isn't. Because you know damn good and well that nobody, not Boise, not SMU, not IU, would have touched Ole Miss or Alabama. They just
give South Carolina they respect.
And
South Carolina ain't it. They lost to both them teams.
I understand that, but they're a 9-3 team. They're a 9-3 team that beat Clemson, who's in the playoffs. Come on, bro.
You don't. So you don't think that South Carolina is better than Indiana, SMU,
I definitely
Boise?
think that. Yes.
Okay.
Their defensive line. But listen, I'm just on that thing, man. You still.
I know.
You got to hold it down. You 10 toes down on that. You can't. He don't care how the narrative changed. He don't care what facts come presented. He's stopping the argument at that point.
You still don't belong in South Carolina.
I just thought I just really wanted to pick y'all's brain on.
No, I agree with you, and I think that's where it's kind of sucks, because now what you're going to end up having happen is you bet your ass that the SEC and the Big Ten are going to make sure they get their teams in, which is why the Big Ten was able to do it, because they had a 1-loss Indiana team that played their own little training wheel schedule game. That's how their schedule was too. They didn't have to play anybody but Ohio State. And that's just crazy talk. It's crazy.
They got rewarded for it, brother.
They got rewarded for it. And this is either going to do one of two things. They're either going to bump it up so that they get the number that they want to get, or here's what's probably going to end up happening. And I don't hate this idea, by the way, but you're going to start messing with people's rivalries.
Yes.
They're going to end up. The SEC is going to say, you know what? Fuck you. Not only are we not going to 9 games for our league schedule, we're going to play 6, and then we're going to play 6 against y'all's asses. And that's the way it's either going to be, or you're not going to be a part of this anymore. I'm telling you, that's what's going to happen. And I love that, because that means you're going to play more. But the problem is that with the money split being the way it is, that's going to get you killed.
Yep.
It's going to get those conferences smoked.
Yep.
Smoke
them out, Smokey.
Because in 3 years time, think about the difference. You're making 40, 50 million more a year in both of those conferences than the other two. It's not sustainable like that. They got to find a way. But just so we understand, this was never done. None of this shit was ever done to have parity. Everybody thinks there's parity because of the portal and all that. No, only for a little while. Only for a little while. So it's going to be what it is. Damn all this Clemson slander.
Hey, it's not slander. We don't slander. We speak straight facts, brother.
Listen, I got to give them props, though. Dabo finally went and got somebody in the portal.
Man, y'all better listen. Jay, can I put something out?
He's saving his job.
Listen, if y'all have not been living right in your lives, you've been doing some dirty stuff, day-to-day life, you ain't being a good person. You better go get it right now. Because Dabo went and got a quality player out the portal. Not just a player. He went and got a quality player. And
yes, he did.
And he's publicly speaking in support and demanding support from the boosters to boost the NIL. Y'all better get right. You playing around with your life. If you out here, you smoking bad stuff, leave it alone. You better get
no hate. I think there's going to be teams that are going to compete to a certain level, but it's going to be the farthest it's go. You know that's not new for me.
Oh, you see what House Money just said?
What's that?
Klubnik is made tier.
Oh, I don't care about me tier. If he shows, he shows. That's good competition. If he doesn't, Hawkins is going to win it anyways. It is what it is. It is what it is. I will be talking about that more, folks, obviously in the morning on Rise and Shine College Football. So make sure you pop in over there in the morning to talk there about that. You got to adapt or die. And that's the thing. I will say this. There's always going to be times that they're going to push through and get somebody into it. Well, and I mean, if you look at the way that they're putting all this together, they're going to find a way to get them in certain places. But I just got to tell you, man, the networks are the ones that are responsible for all this too. You know what I mean?
There's no doubt. No doubt.
I mean, look, it is what it is. I mean, Notre Dame doesn't have to go into a conference. You know why? Because they're making just as much. They're making just as much between the monies, the split that they got from the CFP, and then they get 65 mil from alone, all by themselves, 65 mil from NBC. They're right there with where they're at.
And that doesn't include the ACC funding we get for all the other sports.
Spend the 5 million.
Hey, speaking of the SEC bias, we were so excited to get Devonta Smith out of Alabama.
Oh yeah, that's a good move for him. You know, you can't for the real fans of Alabama, you can't troll us with that one, bro. That was one. I'm glad because he stuck through the transition, but that's a player I don't think he should be splitting reps anymore. He's earned full-time starter reps, and he's a quality player. Schematically, he's going to be in a system that he can really be at that nickel corner position. I think y'all bringing him in to play that nickel corner, right? If I'm not mistaken.
Yep, that's exactly right.
Perfect for that league. He get that schedule. He gets to be at a level of competition like Kyrie Jackson was able to benefit when he left Bama and went to Oregon and had that great. I think Smitty going to have that same. Trey Amos did the same thing too with when he left and stayed with Pete Golden. You know, Pete Golden had been recruiting Trey Amos for a minute. So when he go to Ole Miss, he first round corner right now. So I like that for Smitty over there at Notre Dame.
No, I do too. And talking about the SEC and stuff, guys, we know it's the best the best league in college football. There's no doubt about it. Definitely the best conference by far. And so, but you guys know this too. We at Notre Dame have not been getting those kinds of players.
Not. You're right.
And that's a big step for us. And kudos to Marcus Freeman and his coaching staff for doing that, because we haven't been getting the SEC type players. So
they said y'all had some recruits on campus during spring, unofficials, walking around with black and miles in they mouth. They say Notre Dame amping up the ante.
They are.
That's a little running joke at Alabama. They say Reuben Foster used to have walking around with black and miles.
Black, yeah. Hey, so let's finish our bracket then. I got us all off kilter.
You good, man. So final, what's this finals? We got. Let's talk about y'all bracket, because I could really debate y'all bracket. I think it's a good debatable bracket. Let's debate y'all bracket. We got a 2-1. I'm about my bracket out. I'm gonna keep it though for keepsakes. You muted.
You there?
Sorry about that. I was trying to share that thing and I forgot. I don't even know how I muted. I didn't mean to. Let's see. I'm going to go put that other one up. Okay. All right. So here's, whoops, that ain't it.
That's you.
Trying to screen share from your phone?
No, I need to. I guess I'm going to have to do this. I'm going to have to download it.
No, I got you. Screen share for me.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Screen share.
I'll do it right now.
Oh, yeah. No, it's right there, right? Okay. Yeah.
I can fix
it. Okay. So essentially, though, we've got, me and Coach both have Tennessee, ASU, Notre Dame, Penn State. Coach, who you got in that semifinal with Penn State? Or I mean, with Penn State, Notre Dame. Obviously, you got Notre Dame, right?
Absolutely.
Okay. That's why I didn't even think to ask you it. But Tennessee, ASU, talk to me. Coach?
Me?
Coach Roybal.
Oh.
Tennessee, ASU. You know what? I'm going to stay with Tennessee.
Okay. Coach Smook.
For this bracket, I got Tennessee too. If Tennessee creates momentum early to get past Ohio State on the road, then go beat a rested, prepared Oregon team, I think Tennessee kind of puts themselves in the driver's seat to win it all at that point.
I think that they can too, right? I think that they can too. So that's kind of what I feel like too. I think they can win it. Going there, they're going to beat ASU. I got Notre Dame. I got Notre Dame beating Penn State for damn sure. But I'm going to go with, in the championship game, I think that I got to go against the SEC, and everybody's going to freak out about this. But, yeah, I got Notre Dame winning the whole thing. I think that they're the best team in the country. And I knew that you were not going to love that, but that's what I got happening.
You for real?
I do. I am. They got the best running game in the country. And I think they have the best defense in the country. Or Tennessee, one of the two is.
I ain't gonna be disrespectful.
Be disrespectful.
No, I'm not. I'm saying I'm not gonna be disrespectful because I agree. I think they have a good run game, but I don't think in this moment we're accounting for the team speed that they have yet to see in any game. Oregon doesn't match the team speed that they're going to see the rest after they beat Indiana. Right? They're not going to. I don't care what Georgia looked like against SEC opponents, bro. When they match up against Notre Dame, that physicality is going to show its head early on. Notre Dame's going to have to do something miraculous.
That Notre Dame, I don't think you're watching enough of them because they are the most physical team in the country.
Bro, just like you gave them crap, you gave Georgia crap for going into the 8 overtimes with Georgia Tech. That same game against Notre Dame, it wasn't a factor of them just overpowering Georgia Tech. The ball just didn't go Georgia Tech way, man.
No,
bro, I watched that game, bro, and that's the game I used to compare. So I'm looking at Georgia's best foot forward and Notre Dame's best foot forward. I don't think it's gonna be close. So y'all,
I agree with you. I agree with you on that statement. I don't think it's going to be close either.
No, I'm saying best foot forward. I just don't think it's going to be close.
I agree. I don't think it's going to be close.
Coach, you got to give me. You can't take the part you want. It got to be best foot forward because Georgia can come out sleep.
Be petty. It ain't going to be close. Tell me why they're going to win, Coach. Come on.
You know what? Here's the deal. Georgia should win it. And I tell you what, I'll be honest. Notre Dame's got to prove they can beat a big-time football team.
I'll give you that much.
They've got to prove it.
Can we get a poll in the chat?
Yeah, we can get a poll in the chat.
I'm gonna poll it in my chat too.
What do you want?
When you poll Notre Dame, you're gonna get more people polling against.
I just want to see because
you
make a solid argument. That's what I'm saying. Because I know if people watch football in the chat, there is arguments and best. Like I said, Georgia needs. This is not just a rollover game for me with this game. I'm expecting Georgia's best foot forward, and I'm giving Notre Dame's best foot forward. That's what I'm basing it off of. Now, Georgia, like I said earlier, if Georgia come out flat, Notre Dame push it into 3 quarters, it might be up for Georgia. I don't think they have the weapons like a pass to bail them out. You know, they haven't shown it all season.
What and I know their quarterback's out, right, Carson? But
yeah,
I think the backup looked pretty good too.
Yeah, I like Gunner starting over back anyway.
I'm not sure he's not better.
Yeah,
I think he is better. I think he's been well, and we hadn't seen the best out of Carson Beck at a lot of points this year. Now he had good games. I think he wasn't playing god awful whenever he got knocked out of the Texas game, and he played. You know, he had a couple of turnovers in the first time, but they still blew him out. I do think that. Listen, there's no two ways around it. If you're going to lose a game, it's going to be to Georgia. If you're going to lose a game, it's going to be to UGA.
True.
I think
that's the only.
And if you can beat Georgia, you show that you beat Georgia. Who the hell is going to beat you?
Well, I tell you what. To me, in my opinion, whoever comes out of this side of the bracket wins the Natty. Georgia or Notre Dame.
Well, and I mean, Tennessee could also. I'll tell you this: the defense is what changes the reason that watching them and their path to it. Now, obviously, they got to go through and figure it out in the shoe. But if they win that game, I think that the matchup they're going to beat Oregon and absolutely going to beat whether it was Texas or ASU. I don't care. They're going to beat either of those teams because they just are. But that's why I think that defensively they're as good as you get, and they're gonna but I don't know that where it's a great matchup for them against everybody else, the way that they play defense and run the football. It's not the best matchup against Notre Dame because that's what they do too. So I think that there's it's going to be a hell of a game.
It's got to be whoever wins has got to bring their best foot. I'm telling you that's
Georgia,
I agree.
If Georgia wins, Tennessee definitely loses because they've got a thing in their head that they just can't beat Georgia.
Right. You got it this year. Why did you lose the last this year? How did you lose that one?
I mean, hey man, Kirby's got their number. Period. So if Georgia wins, they're winning the Natty.
So who do we have in this bottom bracket in the 5-12 bracket over there? It was Texas.
Yeah.
And then ASU over Texas.
I had ASU over Texas. I mean, you could still see it going either way, but Texas definitely doesn't get past the semifinals.
All right, so we'll put it. I'm the guest here tonight, so we're gonna follow the rules.
You the man, brother.
Crazy.
ASU right there. Then we got we had Penn State going over here, right?
Yep.
That pisses me off to even say that.
I know. It's awful.
And this is the one we waiting for. It's up for debate because I'm coach. I'm SEC biased with my argument just for the sake of content. But you make valid points. Like if you watch football, I'm telling you right now, as a football fan, if Georgia comes out half stepping, Notre Dame will push their game to 4 quarters. Georgia's really going to have to come out and punch Notre Dame. Notre Dame going to show their tenacity, their resilience, right? Perfect storm, though. Georgia going to punch them hard. They're going to get them wobbly a little bit. Notre Dame is going to have to capitalize quick. And I just don't think they have the capability of it. They'll keep fighting. It won't get ugly till, probably the start of the fourth quarter when attrition starts setting. But it has to be a perfect game for Georgia, because if they don't, Notre Dame wants to be in a scrappy game. They want to.
Oh, yes, they do.
They want 7-8 minutes.
What they do, man. They've been doing that.
Right.
So that's where my thing is that I think the winner of that one is going to win it, because while I think that, Tennessee and Notre Dame could be a great game, I think that Tennessee gets blown out by Georgia, because that's what happens, and I believe that's the way it'll go. Now, could you see Texas getting through that? I can't, because I don't see them winning games whenever they matter. They just don't do it. So I don't believe that they're going to go any further than, that quarterfinal matchup. And after that, even if they did, if they're too much for ASU, they certainly are not going to be too much for Tennessee, or even if Oregon found a way to win through.
And this is why I laugh at a lot of fans. I'm talking about my chat, Bama bros. He talking about, bruh, Smook, you tripping. If you just like they said to me, have you watched the Notre Dame game? Because if you have, when they are playing at a high level, when they are executing, just like Georgia, they look like one of the top 5 teams in the country. But you don't get that from them every week. Notre Dame has benefited from strength of schedule. Let's not play the flute with it. All right, pause. But they have done what they had to do majority of the time against lesser talent. It's not like they did just what Indiana did.
Facts.
When they played Oregon to the wire. They played a solid game to the wire. Yes, they lost to NIU. Week 1, was that week 2, right? Week 2, yeah, they lost to NIU. But then they got a solid win against A&M. You can't base it off of one game and say they lost to this team, because they turn around and look like a totally different team. Alabama experienced that all year. So miss me with all the brand, because that's what a lot of y'all do. Y'all go and look at brands. That's why y'all still crying about the Vanderbilt loss, because y'all not looking at that roster and looking at they got freaking 12 former 4-star, 5-star players in their third year of college ready to let loose on somebody, and they had the opportunity against Bama.
Think about it. They had another year with
come on, man.
Oh boy, hey. Listen, man, Diego Pavia is a dog, straight up. You get in the wrong game with him. Texas did everything but lose to him, and they had him. They have their man. If they hadn't gotten ahead like they did,
Bama bros, I'll light you up in a debate. He keep trying to do this transitive property thing with college football, and it is not valid anymore, bro.
Yeah, dude.
It is not valid anymore. You're that fan that believes Vanderbilt is going to drop off next year, and you're going to be sadly mistaken. You're that fan that believes that Florida State is going to stay like they were this year. No, Portal is going to change a lot of it's changed the landscape of football. Colorado might be a national championship contender next season. Not even playing. Don't doubt it. We doubted it last year.
Mm-hmm.
It's literally slapping all of us in the face. Everybody that had a take on what NIL and Portal would do and the timeline, it's slapping all of us in the face. We were literally talking about it before the season kicked off, were we not? 3 to 4 years, we want to see it affect. No, this junk is happening right now.
Yeah. The reason I would say that, I thought that, look, we know Louisville lost they lost 4 games, but they went in to beat the brakes off of Clemson in South Carolina. They got them. They're in their house. I mean, the shit was over in the third quarter. Wasn't close. So I think that's a big win for them. Yeah, Army and Navy, of course, because it's a hard getting ready for, triple option teams and stuff like that. But the thing is the Notre Dame's played against them in the last few years. They play them a lot. So it doesn't bother them as much as it bothers a lot of teams. They beat the shit out of both of them. That's the one thing you got to say about Notre Dame is you can say that they haven't played this or they haven't played that, but everybody they've played, they went to College Station, beat them. And A&M was right in it for a bid in the SEC championship. Louisville is a good win. Hey, listen.
At that point in time, it sure was. Like, people got to stop playing this game like looking at these records,
Georgia Tech had some wins this year. They took out quality. They beat Miami. Miami was a contender. They beat them. They damn near beat Georgia 8 overtimes. Come on. They didn't have a problem with them. Notre Dame rolled over them. To Georgia's defense.
to
And
Georgia's
here's
defense.
the
6 injuries on that defense for that game. Let's just
I can talk injuries too. I can talk. I guarantee you, we have way more injuries than Georgia's even thought about having this season. But I will say this, guys, it's all about the matchups each week. We can, you know, and you know, I threw Georgia Tech out there, you know, all the overtimes, but at the end of the day, it's where you are in that point in time in the season. It's it's your matchups.
You got to win.
It's your matchups, and you know, we can talk a lot of shit, which we do, and it's kind of fun.
Of course.
But at the end of the day,
that's not what our show does.
It's how you match up, and every one of these games we've sat here and talked about, the matchups are going to be, you know, this is their strength, this is their weakness. The other team they're playing, strength, weakness.
Mm-hmm.
And then again, you start getting into weather. You start getting into turnovers are always huge.
In the first round?
And you can come into ball game. Yeah, in the first round. But even after the first round, you know, you play somebody and you turn
fields and domes and shit after that. It's all good.
Right. But what I'm saying is after that first round, even if you're playing indoors, you know, it's nice and perfect weather conditions, no wind, no snow. But then you guys, you don't know when the hell you're going to come in, and next thing you know, your football team has 3 turnovers. I mean, that shit changes a lot of things quickly.
Think about that USC game. USC played as hard as and look, that's always going to be a good football game, but they're coming down there a chance to get within 7, have a chance to, you know, and there's a little bit of time left, and what happens? They get 2 pick sixes
98 yard interception and 100 for a touchdown.
The one guy that they were picking on, he's the worst guy in their secondary, and he's still damn good.
Bro, this is why I love what the portal is doing to the competitive.
Sure.
You know, the competitive balance of college football. I love what it's doing for that aspect, right? I love that part of it, but the commitment and loyalty part is where it gets me, because now we get to have these conversations where it's not wake up and beat up on Appalachian State week 1 no more as Clemson or somebody, you know what I'm saying? Like, because Appalachian State got every second string 5-star that you made ride the bench last year. they got him on there as the starter on their roster now, and yeah, you might got the experience, but natural talent, you can get caught slipping in the first 3 to 4 weeks, and that's what happened this season. We saw it. Sure. NIU literally did it to Notre Dame. You get what I'm saying? Like,
I'm gonna tell you what, guys.
Alabama 2 years ago. What?
Sure.
Last year, my fault.
Last year, yeah. But you know what? You look at this bracket, and probably the worst loss of any team in this bracket goes to Notre Dame in that second week of the season.
Sure. But since that second week, it's different. You know, Riley was hurt, and then I think he was still learning that offense. But look, after that, they played the kind of football that they have to play. They were who they're supposed to be from then on out. They didn't depend on him to beat you with his arm after that. You'd love to be better throwing the football, and they can throw it. Not to say they can't throw it, but they know who they are.
Right.
They know what their identity is, and that's why. Look, I think that you're going to find out. They're going to definitely, if they're not good enough as far as physicality is concerned, we'll know, because they're damn sure going to try to be.
Oh yeah, that's why I said I don't think they're going to get away from it, and that might be the thing that literally
they're not going to get away with it. That's how they're going to roll, and we'll see how. Listen, I think that they're physical enough. The last 2 years I've been like, damn, they're good, physical enough to win, to do it and beat anybody in the country. But will they do it or not? I don't know. It's probably going out on a limb a little bit for me. But then again, it isn't, because it's always the physical best defenses and that are going to control the clock that win these playoff games, man. They just do. It's the same reason I like Tennessee on the other side, man. It really is. Can I see Oregon finding a way? Yeah, I can, because they're talented as hell and they're built like an SEC team. I
think they just get caught by the momentum if it's Tennessee coming out of that first game. I'm telling you, that's just not good. Like you said, Ohio State come out of it, which is what my bracket was originally saying. Right. Until I started looking at the if Ohio State come out of it, it's a matchup that I think Oregon just has the better schematically. They just match up better. They execute better. But let's get this done, because I don't want to leave y'all like this right here is ugly as hell. But when you look at it, this Final Four is interesting.
It wouldn't surprise anybody. I mean, look, would it freak you out if it was Tennessee and Texas? No. Would it freak you out if it was Notre Dame, Penn State, or Georgia, Penn State? No. It just wouldn't. And that's going to be chalk. And that's what, honestly, these other schools, they need the Big 12 or the ACC needs somebody to get through.
This side of the bracket is just like, it's really this. These are the teams right here that I feel like get screwed.
ASU, I like ASU's team. And I think they can get to that semifinal. I think that's tapping them out. And I only think that they can do that because Texas gags.
So are we moving Texas or ASU forward?
I've got ASU, but I've still got Tennessee winning that semi. Okay. And I think that I think that if Tennessee gets Notre Dame in the game, they have a chance. If they get Georgia, they have no chance.
Okay. So we got Jason has a Georgia. I have Tennessee and a Notre Dame.
I have Tennessee, Notre Dame, and it's a toss-up there, but I'll go with Notre Dame. I said they were going to win it. I believe they can. But that would be their one chance to me to win the game. And only because, like I said, they just know they can't beat Georgia's ass. They haven't done it.
Jason, go full screen with the screen right here so we can get your screenshot. Just you and this screen share.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, get that screenshot. You and the
you talking
because that's your bracket.
Okay. Yeah. Oh, it's
standing on business.
Like do it. So
you might have to create a whole nother scene, huh?
Point at it.
Yeah.
It's me. I got this.
That screenshot. Somebody get that screenshot for us.
Straight. All right. So Coach, yours is I think it's the same, isn't it?
Mine's the same. Yeah.
Okay.
Too. Yep. So Notre Dame finally getting done after how many years? When's the last time they won it? 91?
1988.
88. Holy shit. That's a long time.
Lou Holtz.
Hey, listen.
You know what else I like, guys, too?
Marcus Freeman, if he does this, though, even let's say he gets to the semifinals, he goes to another stratosphere as a coach.
Oh, there's no doubt.
Does Notre Dame keep him? Like that's another thing too.
Well, we're talking about Ohio State losing in the first round, which means that Ryan Day's probably out on his ass.
Come on,
and he's an Ohio State guy.
Guys, y'all realize he just signed a new 4-year deal that gives him another 6 years.
Hey,
and
that used to mean something, brother.
I know it did, and I tell you what, and I know this sounds egotistical as hell, but at Notre Dame it does mean something.
Of course it means something, but he went to Ohio State.
I don't care.
I don't know, man. I think that's your one scary thing.
Nope.
But here's what I tell you though. I think that they're not after him at this point. But if he goes and wins a natty, things change right now.
Sure. Hey, you know what? Here's the deal, guys. If they come get him, we'll be fine. We'll survive it. I don't want to lose him. Well, I think
it's going to happen at some point. Everybody loses.
And I will tell you this, guys, and Jason, you already know this. Notre Dame's got enough money to keep him.
Mm-hmm.
That's a fact. $20 billion endowment.
And they've got more than money that they need to keep him. And it's not just they're also, and one of the things we didn't even talk about. I don't think
it's about money. I'm just saying it's about allegiance to your home, to your
right.
alma mater.
We were also talking about the SEC and bringing in Smith from Alabama. But you know what? We have a SEC coordinator too that was very successful, and his two coordinators right now are the two of the highest paid in the country.
No doubt.
And they're building a brand new facility for him. I mean, guys, they're doing the things
that you have to
they
do.
need to do.
They've loosened their recruiting, some of that stuff. They've actually did the things that you have to do. So look, this isn't Notre Dame back when they weren't shopping on the same aisle, like BK said.
I think we'll see Notre Dame ascension kind of like we're seeing from Tennessee. Tennessee started the same way probably like 2 years ago.
By the same
great
token, and here's the thing. Oklahoma is in this position right now where, look, Brent Venables is in trouble. We know that. And there's a lot of talk that we can have about Mateer and all this other stuff coming in with Arbuckle, blah, blah, blah. We can do all that. But here's the bottom line to it. Coach Venables has to win 8 games this next year. And they've got the most ridiculous schedule. Again, not the training wheel schedule. Retarded good. The last 7 games, it's just a fucking gauntlet. And so if you don't win 8 games and you're out, if Tennessee gets through and gets even to the semifinals, but if they make it to the final, I don't even know if A to be enough. He wins the national championship, Tennessee, you might as well kiss him goodbye because he is gone. Yeah. Immediately back to Norman.
Get out of here.
Come on home. Come on home. Let's be what they're saying. If Oklahoma doesn't go out there and light it up, next year,
you think? I got you.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, I got you.
There's a powers that be that want that to happen.
Absolutely, absolutely. Hey, I did want to respond to Neilio. He said it's just crazy to me that Notre Dame is just now building those facilities that others have.
Well, there's
I don't know, Neilio. I don't know if you've been out to Notre Dame and seen their facilities, but I guarantee you they're as nice as anybody in the country. But you're fixing to see even another jump of those facilities to maybe even lead the pack.
Little Italy. Little Italy. So, it gives like those.
So you've got. So this is your bracket here, there, Smook.
Yeah, this is my bracket.
1 and 2 finding their way to the championship game, and who you got winning it? You got Oregon winning it.
I got Oregon winning that thing.
Ooh, buddy.
I can see that.
It's an offensive show, huh?
Nah, I think Oregon's defense started the season off very strong. I think their first matchup against Tennessee. I like Tennessee against Ohio State. I think Oregon's in trouble with a shaky game plan, but I think they got enough time to prepare for these style of offenses. I think the style of run game that Tennessee presents kind of
fuzzy. My fault. Go ahead.
You good? But the style of running game that Tennessee presents kind of plays into the way that Dan Lannon likes to, can scheme against the run game. And I think Oregon is going to be straight. I think they had a few guys on the back end that were hurt towards the end of the season that, it made a lot of those games look a little bit bad on the defense, especially their run, their secondary tackling, that second level tackling from the secondary. So I think they could clean that up and do enough to get past the tough Tennessee game. I like Dan Lannon against Steve Sarkisian any day of the week. That's just my personal preference. I just don't think Sarkisian puts enough into his 3rd and 4th page of play calling when he plays against good defenses. I think he gets stuck. So that's that side of the bracket. Then Georgia, like I said, man, both teams showing up to play their best game. Georgia's winning that one. And I mean, that's probably like a 11-point game because I don't think they're going to try to beat the brakes off of them. They just want to be physically imposing, and that's what they're going to rely on. And if you're going to test Kirby like that, he's going to take that challenge, and you're really going to have to out-scheme him, and not many people are doing that without the weapons, and I don't think Notre Dame has enough weapons. They got the running backs. They don't have the downfield threat, so That's there. SMU upset over Penn State. Call it an upset if you want. I just don't think Penn State is good. I don't think Drew Allen is going to be able to do enough. And again, they don't have the explosiveness to keep up with a fast starting SMU offense. I think SMU does enough to get past Boise State in that shootout. Whoever has the ball last, and I like SMU's ability to get to the ground game and hurt you in the pass game. Like you can catch it from both ends with them. With Boise State, they have to have the run game going in order to get their pass game going. So it's kind of like. And if I'm just talking crazy in chat, y'all know I could go back and read the chat. But I got Georgia over SMU for that Cinderella build up semis over there. I got Georgia over them. SMU coming to
that does a word of good for the ACC if SMU comes through and gets that deep.
It doesn't. It doesn't.
It probably doesn't really, but
It
it'll make them still talk for a while,
just a little bit. But SMU had to come in your conference and do it for you. Shut up, Miami. You still didn't win your conference, Miami. Shut up.
Thanks. Shut up, Miami.
Shut up. 2001 evades you again. But
sorry about that, my man. Do we actually know how good Texas or Penn State are? Neither has defining wins.
That's what I'm saying.
No, you're wrong. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. And the fact is that look, Oklahoma wasn't what they should have been, especially at that time of the season. They didn't put up the right game plan or anything for them. But aside from that, I mean, they skated by a couple of games that could have went the other way. We know that for sure. And so when I look at it is that, look, Texas, yeah, I don't know. And then the only one, I guess Penn State, you could say, yeah, they beat USC in an overtime game on the road. But USC is 6-6, so you can't.
That would have been like giving Alabama credit for being a beat up Notre Dame. Like I just don't think. I don't think Penn State has enough to do anything with every offense in this bracket, in this playoff. I don't think Penn State's offense has enough to keep up with any of them. ASU, Indiana's offense is even more explosive to me than Penn State.
Mm-hmm.
So, but my final Georgia, Oregon. I like Oregon against Kirby. I like Dan over Kirby. I like that little brotherly hate there. I think Dan has enough to take out a post cakewalk Georgia team over SMU, because I think that's what that matchup ends up being. SMU runs out early against Georgia, and Georgia comes in unprepared against Oregon. Dylan Gabriel and company do some tricky stuff to get Kirby off balance early. Put that backup quarterback in some pressure situations early. See if he deliver. I don't think he does, because he doesn't have the superstar weapons out there that's making the big plays for him. And that's what puts Georgia in a bad position. Their defense is going to be exposed because they actually got to keep up with some team speed. And Oregon,
the answer to this question is no. No, they could not. It's not doable. Go ahead. Sorry about that.
No, you good. I was just trying to give it like this whole narrative to make Georgia fans a little bit more mad in my chat. That's all.
Shout out to Shawty and the dogs. First lady, whoever might be catching this, Coach I, whatever. Look, I got them going out earlier than that. So it is what it is. I think that you're looking at, it's going to be a fun, I think this is I will say this. The one thing I'll say is I know a lot of people thought that games weren't going to matter. This game wasn't going to matter. You're messing with the regular season. No, you didn't. You made the regular season matter more than it's mattered in a long time. So there is some level of, I mean, look, I think that they got to fix some shit on this playoff and the way that they pick it.
Yep.
But it's going to be a lot of fun. I don't know that there's 8 teams. I think that there's 4 to 5 that theoretically, to me, I think, as I said, Notre Dame, Tennessee, yes, Ohio State, yes, or yes, Oregon. Could Penn State? No. Georgia obviously can. So 5.
Hey, and I just seen it in my chat too.
And I guess Texas probably could too. So maybe even 6. But
Penn State, their inconsistent offense, they were solid in the red zone. Who was that red zone switch that really started?
Kotelnick, he's a good. Man, that dude knows what he's doing, man. That dude knows what he's doing.
Who's the backup? The backup is gone. He's not playing in the
you're talking
game.
You're talking Georgia.
Penn State quarterback, the backup quarterback, the red zone quarterback.
Oh yeah, Penn State. That's right.
Is their coordinator? They're better than they have been, but they're still.
I said the quarterback.
But their backup quarterback, he's gone. He's in the portal.
In the portal. Now that's the thing that could end up hurting is that somebody asked earlier, if you go in the portal, could you come in and play no, you can't. No, you can't. But
it's your paperwork and you gone.
You could lose a player though. You could lose a player like they lost their quarterback, their backup quarterback before the playoff. That doesn't bode well. There's going to be an injury, but you can believe that there will be at least one big injury that'll derail somebody in this thing. And that's the beauty of this, of how big this thing is if you're going to get some opportunities, that'll be what it is. But can you get on a roll like we've seen NFL teams do it and run through as a wild card? The wild card team winning a Super Bowl. We've seen it. So it's pretty wild, right? Pretty wild stuff. All right.
Yeah.
Well, we've got all these, we've got copies of all these for to make sure that we hold this receipt. Hey, folks, appreciate everybody coming into the stream. We've had, let's see how we got here. We've got a total of, come on now. We've had over 600 in this side. We've got 43 likes. So run them likes up, man. We appreciate you. Come on now. Make sure you get over there on Coach Smook's channel. Do the same thing at Coach Smook. And it's important, man. We don't ask for super chats, but we definitely ask you to hit that like button or even the dislike button if you hate it. You can do that too. But you could be cool about it. We don't like freeloaders. No freeloaders here. Come on now.
If you dislike Notre Dame, hit the dislike button.
Well, that'll do it. Yeah.
We'll appreciate
you like
that.
Or dislike, they don't have to love it. As long as you are just interacting with the stream, then we're doing well. Thanks everybody though for coming in. I appreciate it. So what next thing we're going to do? I want to talk a little bit about. Listen, we're going to unshare this and go back to the regular screen. Let's talk a little bit about what we saw this weekend. Travis Hunter. A lot of people were talking Ashton Jeanty, or even, and some people even said, listen, as much as I like Cam Scatterboo, it wasn't him. But there's this narrative that anybody could do what he did is outrageous. The guy was Defensive Player of the Year, AP Player of the Year. He was first team All Big 12 offense and defense, Defensive Player of the Year, top 3 or top 2 in scoring in touchdown receptions. He was an elite at both sides and played over 120 games or 120 plays per game, 600 plays on both sides of the ball. How can you, to me, it's not even close. It's not even close.
No.
Jace, this has been my response to it the whole time. Like, it's not even a question. It's not even a debate.
Right.
You in this day and age of football, where so many plays, so much of the game is in the air. There's a lot less contact. I think 2017 the average plays ran per game. 2015 was around 55. We're sitting at like 71 right now across college football. You get what I'm saying? So this is like, and that's just defensive snaps. You're talking about 65 to 70 defensive snaps a game, and he's playing on both sides, and he's like top 10, top 20 statistically in all major categories that you evaluate, from a cornerback, from a wide receiver. Like, I don't see where the argument is, man. And that's not taking anything away from Jeanty. Jeanty, the best running back in the country.
Listen, and he was, but here's the thing. He also ran and played in the worst run defense league in the country.
What's the strongest defense he played against, brother?
Yep.
Oregon.
Yeah, and
Oregon.
I just saw Penn State put 300 yards on them on the ground. They couldn't even throw the ball, but they were running it.
Come on now. Well, Oregon statistically was the best defense that Boise State played.
Facts. Welcome into the show, Coach Ricks. Good to see you, man.
What's up, Coach?
Coach Ricks.
What's going on, fellas? How's everybody going?
Good, man. We were just been picking our bracket, man. Did you have any? I saw you in there. You were watching. So, what did you think about our choices? Who you got winning it? Just give us your winner.
You can pull it back up. I can edit his too. I got enough screenshots. I mean, little things.
I had Georgia winning, man. I hate to say that.
Okay. No, that's I
had Georgia.
Why would you be sorry about who you picking?
Yeah.
Well, because everybody's thinking. Well, no, everyone's thinking that Georgia is falling off with the quarterback with Beckman going.
I don't.
So, hell, they're better off.
I think they're better with.
I think everything comes down back to being a physical run game. Play action will be a little bit more effective. Play action will. So I'm picking Georgia.
Okay. Okay.
That's what I got.
All right.
But I got Georgia. And
who you got playing?
You're gonna kill me on this one. I got them going up against Clemson.
What the fuck?
What?
Hey, y'all, like y'all said, hey, that's why I didn't say nothing.
Coach, you got to bring this. You got to break this one down for me.
No, you're gonna have to give us a reason here. Other than your brother-in-law, coach, is there? Real quick, Fuzzy Balls, another super chat. Appreciate it. I'd rather finish second in the Heisman and have a woman that's drama-free. Long-term, Ashton Janty's the winner.
They still on
Fuzzy Balls,
straight up wrong.
Hey,
but he ain't wrong though. It ain't wrong.
I hate to be in that type of, but I see it, man. And
hey,
bro, hey, listen, if you've been through it, you know. If
you know, and that's why I hit home right now.
Hey, check this out. Which is worse?
I'm bitter look. I'm bitter.
Which is worse? What Travis Hunter's girl did, or what CeeDee Lamb girl did?
CeeDee Lamb shut that shit down.
Yeah, he shut it down.
Travis wasn't acting that way. He was like, "What, babe? What? No. You should have shut that shit down real quick."
Hey, that boy is. Hey, real talk. If like off the field, like off the green grass and the turf, Travis don't bother nobody. So I could see her like kind of giving them hell and all that type of stuff. But yeah. I don't want to get into that. They young.
That problem, man.
That's luck to them, man.
Yeah. No doubt. But hey, no shade. There's no, to me, and Coach, you jump in on this, Coach Roybal, because I know we hadn't really got to talk to you a whole lot about it. I think he's the best player. We talked about earlier in the year that they were going to play him too much and get him hurt, and he got through it. I mean, he took some shots. The dude was the best player on the field every week, and that's what you're supposed to be, is it not?
Well, and I got to tell you guys, I mean, the proof's in the pudding. I mean, Jesus Christ, he's incredible, and he did what many cannot do, and he's probably in the 0.009% of the college football players that could do that.
Well, and Bryce gave me shit on the show the other night and he was in here saying that there's a lot of guys that could have done it, but it's just Dion let them do it. Okay, now through time, sure there was guys that could do that maybe, right? I would agree with that. But here's the thing: you still have somebody else does it. I don't want to hear that shit.
He's done it. It's simple. The others haven't for whatever reason.
Yeah. It's just, I mean, look, it's easy to say it, but we saw him not get through the whole season last year.
Exactly, and that's why I wasn't sure.
That weight on,
and it's not like he's the same kid. He's the same size dude as, some of those dudes like Bo Jackson, who, yeah, of course he could do something like that, right? Dudes like that, Champ Bailey,
Charles. Well,
Charles Woodson. It ain't the same dude, but I'll say this: there's a reason he was the number one recruit in the country when he was in high school, and that everybody wanted him, and he's proven it. He is the best football player in the country. I can't believe that people are still complaining about it, because in the end, look, I'm not saying that Ashton Janty didn't do his thing. I'm just telling you it don't mean as much in the Mountain West. I'm sorry, it doesn't.
No.
Wacky.
If there's any, I mean, I can't imagine anybody disagreeing. And I know there's been other years where well, maybe so-and-so should have won it, and instead so-and-so won it. But I think there was no doubt this year who should have won it and who did win it. It's pretty cut and dry to me. But hell, I don't know football, so why should I?
This your bracket right here, Coach.
To move into the final, Lyndon Camelback. But man, you better have a Camelback. It's gonna be a long walk through the desert, bro. If you're waiting on this,
well, let me tell you there,
Penn
Lyndon.
State and Georgia.
I don't know how old you are, but you might be farting dust before that ever happens.
Oh, Jesus!
Wow.
You know what though? He still was in the top in receiving yards and receiving touchdowns. What are you even talking about?
The fact that he did it in the Big 12 conference, bro. Like, I don't care.
It doesn't.
He didn't do it in the Mountain West. He didn't do it in the Sun Belt. He didn't do it in the athletic. He wasn't at Troy State. You get what I'm saying? Just running up. He didn't have 4,000 receiving yards, 10 picks. Man. He had some legit stats that you see with some of the best DBs as far as production.
Didn't even hardly throw at him, and he was the one. How many corners actually play man on man with your number one guy? He's always on him.
Travel
every snap.
He travels.
Hey, that's called Iron Man football.
That dude, you can't even start that stuff. And I'm going to just tell you another thing. Look, it ain't the same as playing in the Mountain West. Even if you say it's not the same as playing in the SEC, of course it is. We understand that. But I'm going to tell you one thing. There's not a lot of SEC corners right now that are playing man-to-man the entire game by themselves on the best guy on the field.
And
Guaranteed.
believe it or not, there are some SEC staffs, coaches that were willing to let him play on both sides.
They were to get him.
Man, and really not on no nickel and dime time stuff.
Shout out Dion for that too, because as much shit as everybody wants to talk about him, he did it his way, and he was able to keep that kid around. He's going to have 2 top 10 picks, maybe the top 2 to go in the draft are going to be his son and Travis. You guys can't. I mean, you can hate on them if you want to, guys, but you really can't. You don't have an argument for why they aren't doing what they said they were going to do.
And fuzzy balls, all the defenses were focused on stopping him, and they didn't. Well, let me tell you one damn thing, my brother Lord. From another mother. That shit's fixing to come to a screeching fucking halt.
That's right.
Because they're gonna light his ass up.
They ain't gonna let that dude do shit. They ain't gonna let that dude do shit.
It's a different way of doing it.
I'll just say this right here. It run defenses. Let me just or let's say, rushing defense is what we need. Just put it to you this way. In the SEC, let's talk the SEC. The SEC has 11 defenses that are in the top 50 in rush defense. The Mountain West has 3. One of them is Boise. So there's 2. The other 2 are it's UNM, and that may actually hold on.
It's only 2 defenses in the Mountain West in the top 50.
Right.
That's it.
Boise State and
the rush defenses though. No, UNLV is right there with them, and UNM was there with them. So there's 3.
But then you got to look at the strength of offenses they played.
That means there's 2. That means there's 3. That actually means there's 2 because they don't play themselves.
Right.
So you're.
I was trying to save it to simplify it because you can't it just doesn't make sense, bro. You haven't been tested.
Somebody argued with me earlier in the week and said, yeah, but if you put him in the SEC, don't you think that offensive line would help him? No, because you have 11 of the best. The only one you could say, Tennessee's been the best rushing team in the SEC for the past couple of years. They certainly are this year. And guess what? And look, man, I think it's messed up that Dylan didn't get deep in or not necessarily a finalist, But look, man, they were killing it in their run game. That's what they do well at Tennessee, better than they do anything else. And he wouldn't have done that there. It wouldn't have mattered.
I say this, man.
There. He would not have done it there, and he certainly wouldn't. He wouldn't have done it in the Big 12 either, or the Big 10.
Facts.
Hey guys, Jason, would
Sir.
you do me a favor?
Yes.
Would you wake me up after y'all quit talking
No, we're
about
done
this
with this.
stupidity?
We're done. Well, let's move on to the next thing. I want to talk about.
Okay.
It's way too
Thank
early.
God.
It's way too early, Coach, but I'm going to do it anyway. And we're going to share this one. Hold on, let me share one more thing here.
Uh-oh.
Let's talk about the way too early Heisman Trophy winner for next year.
I got one.
I know who you're going with, and I got you here too. But I'm going to start here. There's the contender list. We're going to do a contender list. So I'm going to start off with Ryan Williams. Yes, I know he's 17, folks. I know that. I know he's 17 still. But this kid is that kind of guy that he can get to the house anytime he wants to.
Oh, yeah.
Anytime he wants to. I mean, look, the first half the year, all you got to do is go back and watch that Georgia game. They had come all the way back from as far down as they did. And that 75-yard touchdown where he makes a move that it's still, to me, probably the best play of the year that I saw.
The alien curtsy, the alien pivot curtsy.
Listen, man, it's just, and then we watched him do it too. I mean, he tiptoed the line over there in
the Oklahoma game.
Too. I mean, dude, that catch that he made that they called it back was like, I don't even know how he did that. I don't even know how I did it.
You're in the air and you have enough wherewithal to judge where you are, the way your body is angled from the ground, and you're able to control your body and contort your body enough to flatten out enough to keep from touching the ground.
Yep.
And catch the ball while your feet are over the line and tap your toe inbounds without your heels touching the ground. Like, I don't think
you were seeing from Travis this year.
That's what I'm saying.
Stupid catches that you're not supposed to make. That's why this kid, now, will he do it? I don't know. He's going to be a sophomore and he'll be 18. So maybe not. But this is a guy that can get to the house anytime. He ended up with what? 45 for 857, 8 touchdowns. Still, for a true freshman that's, should have been a high school senior, that's insanity right there. Did you know he was 17 years old? I did.
Why didn't they get him the ball more? I mean, I'm not trying to be an ass.
They kind of force-feeded him if you ask a lot of people around there.
Forced it. They definitely forced it to him. But this was a thing of adjusting to understanding of a concept. Like, there's new, this, Coach. We got vertical concepts that we run, right?
I got you.
But everybody got their verbiage and vertical concepts, and it's a lot that he struggled with coming from that style of play in high school.
Off at the end of the year for sure.
Yeah, definitely.
But I think there was also, I mean, as a true freshman, I think it's a long season for those guys, right? And look, we saw. Listen, not for nothing, but Milroe fell off a little bit himself.
Of course,
So it kind of is what it is. We'll see kind of where it ends up. But here's the next one, Jeremiah Love. I knew Coach would be ready on this one, and I would tell you something. This guy has shown a lot. He was good last year. But this dude, again, he's one of he set a Notre Dame record, scored a touchdown in every game they played this season.
Yeah.
And guys, I want you, his stats don't just jump off and smack you in the mouth.
But he's a sophomore, right? I mean,
but he's a sophomore. But I'm going to tell you the other thing is he splits time also.
He does
with another one of our running backs. And so he doesn't get, he doesn't get the, the guy we were just talking about, what's his damn name?
Ryan Williams.
Genty.
Genty.
Yeah. He doesn't get the ball like Genty does.
Well, he didn't get the ball like your guy last year did either.
No.
I just look at the yard per carry with these guys, man.
Yeah.
7.1 yards per carry, man.
That's crazy.
And the other backs the same way.
Mm-hmm. And then check this out, coaches. You don't triple his carries. You double his carries the next year, and he triples, almost triples his production as far as total yards, and he almost basically doubles. Let's be realistic. 5.4 to 7.1. You're looking for 3.8 to 4.1 anyways. You're on that scale, like you're extended scale twice with limited carries. This guy can be dangerous next season. Will be.
Absolutely.
And we see what Notre Dame's doing with that front.
Look, and the way I looked at it was you're definitely going to have to look at, if they're going to make a back-to-back trips to the CFP, you have to expect that with, obviously you've got Riley Leonard is leaving after this season. He's out. This is his last year. They're going to have to depend on this kid because you're going to have new guys coming in. I think you got good quarterbacks, but I think that you have to lean on this running game. And I think that you can with these two guys. You had, let's see, this is the wrong one. But yeah, what did he had like 120 in that game, didn't he?
Yeah.
See, that's the thing too. You got to think next year he comes into this thing for that simple reason right there, Jason, to help transition the next quarterback in. You could see that volume. He could be at 100 carries by week 5.
He could.
And that's a different ball game right there. That's why I've said about the Alabama running game. You haven't seen a back at Bama have over 100 carries, and I mean, like for real, like a legit over 100 carries. It's been a while.
I think Derrick Henry was the last one.
You say what now?
I think Derrick Henry was the last one.
I think Najee Harris ended up getting a tapping 100 that last year in 2020.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So you had, he ended up with, and Jadarian Price actually had 111. Jeremiah Love had a 99 yards, but they split the carries 13 to 12. I mean, but they both had a touchdown. They both had huge runs.
That's crazy.
Yeah. It's just, and then even Riley Leonard put up 50. So, I mean, this is a team that they're going to go out there. They put 258 on a USC defense that was really good against the run this year. I mean, at times anyway, not always, but look, on top of that, though, they also went out there, turned them over and won. They won by continuing to shove the ball down their throat, and they were going to run it. So, yeah, man, I think that Jeremiah Love is he's one of the guys that I would think is going to have an opportunity. Next up, obviously, Arch Manning.
Yep.
We don't have to talk too much about him, but they're going to come in expecting a lot from him. Quinn Ewers is either going to the league or out the door from what everybody's saying. I wouldn't be surprised if you ended up seeing some of him during this playoff as well. But, yeah, I mean, he's definitely there. Anybody got anything to say about Arch? He's going to come in as one of those favorites, just like Quinn came in this year as one.
Well, I just hope that he doesn't come during the playoffs here, because I think he can make Texas a lot better. Quinn is not the Quinn he used to be.
I think he's more mentally stable during games.
Yep. So he's a different quarterback now than what the hype was. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's not even the delivery at the delivery point. His delivery with his and decisiveness with his throws, and I think Sarkisian has unlocked something, and he's kind of scared to really unleash it because he knows it could be the moment in the playoffs that he can unleash it. And that's why I was saying earlier, Jason, Texas get rolling. Their defense hasn't really been a problem for them, but if Arch has to get out there, that's scary for the rest of the bracket. Even like I would love to see that Oregon and Texas matchup with Arch out there.
Facts. Yeah, I think it's gonna be a fun game. All right. Garrett Nussmeier. He's probably a first-round draft pick. I think it's a mistake for him to be going back to LSU, but he says he is. So you got to put him at the top. Big year this year, 63.7, completion percentage, but he had 3,739 yards, 26 TDs, 11 picks. But, man, I mean, he's definitely what kept that offense going there. There was times that he wasn't great, but the guy could spin it, and he's going to get opportunities. And look, they just added Nick Anderson from Oklahoma. They got a little receiver factory down there somewhere in the swamp. So I suspect that they're going to continue to kind of move in that direction. They kind of had to have him come back, though, didn't they, Smook?
Sort of to a certain degree, because a lot of people believing that the third string guy that they had down there after what's his name, flipped to Michigan. What's the guy's young man's name? I forget.
Oh yeah. Oh man, it's
Bryce Underwood. Bryce Underwood.
Correct. Yes. Number one recruit.
Yeah.
Know?
So I think they're kind of glad to have the depth, but I'm hearing that they're still in the portal. They're still in the portal looking for another piece. And there's a lot of rumors that Jaden Rashada might be in that mix. Like for real, LSU is going. They're pulling to Ohio State. They have to. Mm-hmm. They have to right now.
Hey, Brian Kelly will find a way to screw up.
He was talking about how he don't buy players and all that kind of stuff, but he put a couple of million in off of something he donated.
1.8 wasn't it? 1.8 mil.
Yeah.
That's talking about trying to save your own ass.
Sounds like it to me too. This sounds like a Gundy move to me. Mm-hmm. All right. So yes, Nussmeier, DJ Lagway. He's going to come in with some hype.
Yeah, I like that. I like Lagway.
Look, the guy put it together when they lost. Look, they were bad, and then once he started being the starter, they were better. Really, shoot, man. Until he went out in the Georgia game,
they were going to win that game. I think they were going to win that game.
They looked like they were going to win that game. Mm-hmm. I don't know that they would have, but they looked like they were. And look, I think he's the real deal. Definitely, didn't get a ton of time, but he looked a lot better once they lost their quarterback for the year. He's been good. I like DJ Lagway a lot. I think he's going to come in with a lot of. They still have a really tough schedule, but I think that he's going to probably hit the ground running next year. Cade Klubnik. A lot of people think that this is kind of crazy. I think that even people in Clemson would, but if you look at what he did this year, his best year as in college, 33 passing touchdowns, only 5 interceptions, and he passed for 3,300 yards.
Look, Jason, are they forgetting that this kid is a former 5-star?
Was he like
a highly rated 4-star?
Riley too. He is with O'Reilly. This kid can throw it, and they finally started getting some receivers in there for him that can separate.
No, Dabo decided to let the damn OC call the damn plays like he's supposed to.
That part, that part, coach. Finally,
that part indeed. Yes,
common sense.
So listen, he's gonna look, and let's not mix words. They're playing in the ACC.
Mm-hmm.
They're playing in the ACC.
Man, ain't no way that boy got 2.5 mil. I'm sorry, Jackson Arnold got 2.5 mil from Auburn for real.
He got some money from him.
They must be, and
he got some money from him. I don't know how much. He got some money from him.
Wild to it, isn't it? Isn't that wild?
But that's what Auburn always do. They always overpay for players.
Hey, I'll shout out to Trap House Boom, and he just said he just put himself on the menu. Defense put himself on the menu. Shout out to Trap House Booming. All right, sorry, K Clubbing now. Nico Iamaleava.
Mm-hmm.
Hadn't been a great year for him overall, but it hadn't been bad either. 65% completion, 2,500 yards, 19 touchdowns, 5 interceptions. Look, they're not as explosive as you'd like them to be. They're definitely a run-first team. He can run a little bit as well, but if he progresses and is a little better under pressure next year, throwing the football, they're definitely, I don't know. You know how a lot of times you get momentum coming from one year to the next. So if they make a deep run, I could see him really kind of, coming into it as an early favorite. I don't know that he lasts in it, but I think he comes in as an early one. Lenore Sellers, everybody's favorite right now.
Right there.
Still ain't going to the damn playoff.
No.
But 2,274 yards, 17 touchdowns. His rushing touchdowns were right there as well, pretty close to that, I believe. Anyway, he had a good year. They won 6 in a row coming down the stretch. I love Lenoris. I think he's a good player, man. Fun player to watch. I don't know what he's doing hanging around with Beamer.
Trash ass coach, though.
Hey.
Go ahead.
Oh, no. I just said a trash ass coach.
That's what I said. I don't know why you're hanging around with Beamer.
Yeah.
But, I heard there was people really going, I can't believe they hadn't tampered his ass out of there.
Bro, the crazy thing is, like, You talk to the people of South Carolina, they're kind of behind Beeman right now. Like they
think he Jesus
right now, like for real, and they giving it to him. They
but you know what? He'll have a season like this, and he
come back in 2-9
they got so lucky, bro. They got so lucky, and they're gonna go in with expectations now. And guess what's gonna happen?
Fall on the ass,
right? Like always, it's just Beamer. That clown stuff, all the clown stuff at the damn press conferences. It's cool when you're winning. It ain't funny when you ain't.
Mm-hmm.
I've been hearing that he's rumored to enter the port. Yeah, Nico's inconsistent. He's a freshman. You know, he's a freshman. But we're talking about
like really a freshman, a first year starter, like Lenore Sellers. I say the same thing about both of those guys. Sellers,
I think
Nico.
So too. And I got Lenore as more of a dark horse guy.
Mm-hmm.
To be quite honest with you, he's a dark horse. It's not somebody that I expect to win it, but you know, he's one of the better players in the country. I like watching him play. You know, I think he'd do a lot better elsewhere, but I do like watching him play. Avery Johnson.
You know who we get before you go from Lenore Sellers? You remember the quarterback? He just left Auburn, not TJ Finley. What's the other young man's name? He went and played at UCF, I believe, this year.
What's his name?
Or no, he went to South Carolina, right? The guy that was from Auburn.
No, the kid that came from Arkansas. Kid that came from Arkansas last year. KJ Jefferson. Yeah. Lenore Sellers looks like a more polished and confident passing KJ Jefferson. Because when
I always like KJ, but he just doesn't pass it well.
Yeah, I've always liked KJ, just his size and how
he's a big old dude.
Yeah. Lenore is too, man.
I know he is. He is. I like him a lot. I like him. He's
definitely a better passer version of KJ.
And I think if you were working with a better offensive group, then it would help you. But again, I'm surprised. And there's rumors that he could be entering the portal. We'll see what happens. I think they got him. I think they dumped a shit ton of cash in his pocket before that.
He's good. He's good through his junior year. He's good.
Yeah. All right. Avery Johnson. Now, I don't expect for you to have back-to-back Heisman Trophy winners in the Big 12 conference, just being real. Okay. But this is the guy that I could see doing it if you're going to do it. This kid is a dual threat. They didn't have the right guy calling the plays. They went and got Matt Wells to be their offensive coordinator, and then he didn't call plays all year. He struggled a bit first year starting as a quarterback, 2,500 yards himself, 22 touchdowns. He added another 6 on the ground as well. So 9 interceptions, but the interceptions seemed to come at bad times. They lost that game to BYU. They ended up losing a game late in the year to Houston on the road as well. That seemed to be their biggest issue. Now, they did get a win on the road over Colorado, which was big. So they're actually one of the teams with the most wins over a team that has the Heisman Trophy winner. They have 6 of them since like 1960. That's crazy. But yeah, Avery's a good player, man. He can throw it, but with Matt Wells calling the plays this year, I think that he's definitely going to continue to get better. He's much better than the guy that there's a reason why your boy at Ohio State's at Ohio
Will
State.
Rogers. I said that. I told everybody that last year.
Look, man,
they got Johnny Manziel Jr. right here.
Will ain't that guy.
Avery Johnson is Johnny Manziel Jr.
He's fun to watch, man. He's a fun player to watch, and he's a good kid, man. He's not Johnny Manziel Jr. like that.
Yeah, no, I'm saying like on the field. No, he's definitely not
for real.
Johnny, but
getting his former 4-star true freshman wide receivers will help him out, and having Brock Bowers 2.0 coming into Manhattan is a huge plus. Heisman not, but much, much better. He should be better. He should be better for sure.
Breaking news.
Better for sure. Neilio knows this is his guy. Now, we got one more that I'm going to go with, and I'm just going to say this, and for you Sooner fans, listen up real quick. Listen up.
I'm going to say this, Jason. Before you say it, I know what you're going to say.
No, you're not. This is my show.
Watch.
And this is the reason why I'm going to say that. I'm assuming that the true sophomore will win what better be a damn quarterback battle for the starting position. I don't care if you bring in material. I don't care who you bring in. You have to have a competition. Michael Hawkins is the guy. Michael Hawkins is the guy. And you've already heard this rant a bunch of times if you've been listening to my channel. We're going to talk about it tomorrow either way. Tomorrow some more. But I'm just going to say he's coming into – I truly do believe that you've got Ben Arbuckle coming in with a similar system as what we saw Kyler Murray running with Lincoln, and you've got Kyler's dad as his personal coach. They're going to – I think that as good as Mateer was in the Mountain West Conference, by the way, when he didn't lose to UNM or Wyoming at the end of the year,
yeah,
it ain't the same in the SEC, folks. And you can tell me he ain't ready, but guess what? He's got 8 months to get ready, 9 months to get ready. If this guy's such a good developer, Hawkins is going to win that job. Listen, if he doesn't, if he loses the competition and the other guy wins it, I'm okay with that too. But I think this is a Heisman guy. He's a dark horse for sure. And I know a lot of people are going to say it would be Mateer. And look, if you look at his numbers coming out of the Mountain West, they look pretty good. 3,139 yards, 29 touchdowns, 7 interceptions. He definitely had a good season. But I'm telling you, he doesn't have the physical skill set that Michael Hawkins has. And it's my show. I'm going to go with the guy that I think is going to do it. It's going to be Michael. So there it is. Way too early Heisman. Way too early Heisman stuff. What do you guys think about those guys coming through? Do you have those guys? Do you have maybe who are some other dark horses? I was thinking about Jordan James, the running back from Oregon, could be one if he doesn't go to the NFL. Guys like Jeremiah Smith, obviously at Ohio State. You got Cam Coleman possibility.
I see next year being another running back breakout year. I think we got a few running backs.
Maybe
I like Frazier at Georgia. I like Bentley because Bentley's coming back at Ole Miss. I like him as long as he's healthy. Shoot.
If you're gonna say that, might as well go ahead and throw X in there.
Xavier Robinson.
Yeah, Xavier Robinson, right.
That's gonna be a
what about the kid? What about the kid at is it UNLV? It's another small school. I forget the kid's name. I got to go back and look because I was somebody else was talking about this too.
Lovick says breaking news: TCU's transferring to Texas Tech. The whole student body, all 12
of them.
I love it. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that's a good list right there. If you ask me, that was a solid list.
I mean, I think there's some other guys. There's always those guys that you don't really expect, right, Coach? I mean, I don't know, but I really like. Look, if we're talking running backs again, if Jordan James comes back, he's a dog. And look, I think Jeremiah Love, he got a ton better from year 1 to year 2. What's he going to be like next year, Coach?
I think he's going to be as good as anybody in the country.
Well, and Audric Estime was that guy. So, I mean, it's not like they don't know how to do that there.
And I got to tell you, this guy's better than Audric.
Wow.
Yeah, he's better than Audric.
Huh.
And he's gotten stronger. And I don't know if you watched in the USC game, he was running over their asses. I mean, just powerful. Well, not only was he running over them, I don't know how many times you've seen him hurdle somebody. And a lot of backs, when they hurdle, when they come down and hit the ground, they're stumbling a little bit and shit. You watch him hurdle some of these guys, and he doesn't miss a lick. I mean, he's still on balance and he's still running. I mean, he's the real deal. He really is. So I think he could be the best, could possibly end up when he leaves Notre Dame, could be the best running back to ever come through Notre Dame.
Holy shit, that's a big ass statement.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, the bus exists, right? I mean, the bus exists.
Right.
Damn. Coach Smook, which one of y'all hop in, talk.
I'm gonna say this and I'm gonna get up out of here because I just got a message. I'm gonna have to hit the road tonight to get where I'm gonna be at tomorrow.
Okay.
So so I might just take me like a 2-minute nap. But anyways, I'm that type of driver. I like to get on the road at like 1, 2 in the morning. I love that
Best time
traffic.
to drive.
Yeah, best time
Peaceful
to drive.
driving.
Yeah. But
it's the best time to drive when you're not old, because now I can't see shit at that time.
Look, interstates for me. I'm not, and I'm
like a maniac, so that's a scary thought.
That part. I'm a pretty straightforward driver. Now I kind of speed, but I'm interstates at night
You
time.
ain't like Coach. I promise.
I promise. Well, me personally with the Heisman race, I'm looking at players, man, and it's so much talent coming in, even with this 25 class. You see how NIL portal is forcing you to play younger guys, right?
Yeah.
So you never know who might pop, man. I look at this. I mean, and just for the sake of conversation to kind of close it out, I look at what Ryan Williams and Jeremiah Smith was able to do. Well, there's a few guys in the 25 class that I think could come and do similar things at the wide receiver position. We see what the wide receiver position, the value of it just continue to increase as offenses get developed. So I look at a guy like Caleb Cunningham going to Ole Miss with Lane Kiffin. He can experience a similar type season at the wide receiver position with a new quarterback, Austin Simmons possibly being their starting quarterback next season. You know, a young relationship with a new wide receiver, that's media attraction, and kids get sucked into that. You saw Jalen Miro kind of fall suspect to it, or kind of, you know. So it's one of those things. So it's a wide open thing until you start seeing what guys are saying out of spring. But that list you put together, that's like from what we know and what we've seen this season, that's a solid list. I do. And not just because Coach on here, I've always said this about Love, the running back at Notre Dame. I've always said when I seen him the year before last, the year, what was it last year, 2022? I forget what game it was. I don't want to say it wasn't a big time game. It was one of the cupcake games. But he had a stretch read, right? I think like a stretch zone, right? And the whole defense overextended, and when he planted to cut back across it was so fluent. It wasn't like a misstep. It was like you saw the strength and the balance. You saw, just everything was fluent, and I was like, that could be dangerous, because I saw the same thing in Josh Jacobs at Alabama when he was limited as a freshman and sophomore. So, yeah, I like that list, man.
Well, man, we sure appreciate you coming in, Coach. Man,
Yeah.
it's always fun to chop it up with you and stuff and talk about some of this stuff. And hey, we got it on paper now. We got it on paper. We got receipts.
Hey, yeah. Hey,
we're gonna find out.
Depending on what y'all doing Friday, man, I'm
shots.
I'm trying to put something together to get more like thick-skinned content creators. Like we can come together, and this was a chill show, but y'all know we could get rowdy and it'd be chill. Like it'd be cool afterward. I got this thing that I'm doing, sports and spades, man. Sports and spades. And if y'all get on the card table, y'all know I play ace high spades, whatever. It's different card games, but I set it up virtually. Get on the camera, put the face cams out there. We play it through the computer, set it up and just dialogue about sports, not just college football. You know, no team paraphernalia, none of that. You dress up regular, and we turn it instead of barbershop talk, because I'm tired of everybody doing barbershop talk, man. Everybody doing what we doing now. Let's switch it up. So Smook Sports and Spades, we're going to be kicking that off next Friday, Friday. Next Friday, not next Friday. The first Friday in January will be the first one, and I'm just trying to put a nice panel together, nice cast together. And it's getting to the point. It's getting a lot of interest. We could do 2 halves, one hour with one group of people, then another half with another group of people. I'm thinking about doing maybe viewers and then panelists, or panelists and viewers. However, I think this is something that the fan base is going to definitely, the supporters are going to enjoy. It's going to create more conversation and a better environment to have these debates and difference of opinions, and create a space for people to just be who they are. So I'm excited about launching that. But other than that, at Coach Smook on everything, y'all.
At Coach Smook on everything is running across the bottom of the screen. It's been for most of the show. Make sure you guys get over there, subscribe to his channel. You know you're going to get real talk from him every time you get on his show. No doubt about it. It's fun. Hey man, shout out to the AAA fam. We enjoy always having the AAA fam in here as well, man. They're all my guys, man. And yeah, man, thanks a lot for coming in, Coach Smook. We appreciate you.
Coach Smook.
Hey, Coach, before you leave,
before you go.
Yeah,
what's up?
There you go.
Hey, so what are you going to be doing this Friday night?
Depend on what time.
Come on.
Get Notre Dame time, baby.
Yeah.
Notre Dame
Morgan.
time.
I know. We doing a live watch party. I want to do it.
Let's do it.
I don't think Coach want to be on screen for that game.
Oh, you know what? I don't, and I'm going to tell you why. No, I'm going to tell you why, because Jason knows this. My ass is focused.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to. I'm focused on that shit, and so my family they all get earplugs and shit.
With me, I can't watch the game with a lot of people because I'm not watching the game like everybody else. I'm in the booth when I'm watching the game, so I'm not watching the ball. Yeah. I see the snap and then my eyes directly go to the wide receiver and secondary. Like, I don't even see what the quarterback's doing. I'm watching everything on a flat level, like I was taught in the booth when my first year coaching, how to watch a play. Don't watch the ball. Watch what you're coaching. Coordinator, pass game coordinator. Yeah. I'm always on the second. My eyes naturally go there, so I don't like to watch the game. What is he doing? I hate those people.
They're the last game of I guess on Friday. The only game on Friday, it looks like. 8 Eastern time, nighttime on a Friday.
Oh yeah, I can
do
the
lights in South Bend. Going to be a good game. It will be a fun game to watch.
Possibly in the snow.
Possibly in the snow. Hell yeah. This is fun.
Love that shit.
I'm excited, man. We'll figure out what we're going to do for it, but man, we definitely we'll be talking for sure.
For sure.
Thanks for coming in, my man. Appreciate you.
Hold on, Jace. I got to ask Coach Smook a question, man.
Do that.
Hey, man, you need to take it easy on your fair weather friends, man.
You
be killing them on your show, man. You be killing them.
Y'all got, and you know what? I blame y'all, being that y'all not a part of the fan base. Y'all, I see what y'all do. Y'all push it. Y'all really instigate it, and it's a lot of other creators, and they family. These my boys. They like Smook is ruthless. Why is he so ruthless? It's not that I'm ruthless. I think my opinions just get heard a lot louder than others. But I'm not doing nothing no different, man. I just love it because it gets a reaction. It's so easy to get reactions, man. And when you get past feelings, like it's fun. Like go back and read a lot of that stuff. When I'll go back and read a lot of the stuff, I'll be like, you really felt like that towards me, because of a football game that you had no control of.
Hey, when Oklahoma beat you guys and you was on your show the next day, I ain't gonna lie, I was in there poking the bear. I was like, "Hey, coach, it's gonna be all right." And everybody like, "Damn that, fuck that."
Shut up,
he had folks in there. Go ahead and put him in timeout. I'm like, he ain't saying that wrong. He right. He right.
Hey, I had that one joker. He was killing me on Twitter for days after that, and he keeps coming back. He came back after the LSU game. See, y'all got lucky, blah, blah, blah. I said, hey, I don't know
probably Gary.
Say, bro. What do you want me to say? I was like,
yeah, man. But I always enjoy it, man. Like I said, I always rock with y'all. I love how we support each other. So if and I'm talking to my chat, if y'all haven't came over here, showed love to Hall of Fame, the whole squad over here, the coaches, man, y'all need to come show love. And y'all gonna see more of this throughout the offseason. You know, we get in the season, we have our teams and things that we're trying to stay on top of, but the offseason is really when network and connections are made, because you're not forced to talk about these things. You really come together and create. And that's what I had to separate myself from. So me being on this platform with y'all is an honor and a privilege, man. And I'm definitely appreciative because y'all understand the grind. I think we all understand the grind.
It's definitely a grind, but we love it though. That's what me and Coach Ricks were actually talking about that yesterday. Is this you gotta love the grind part. That's what we're doing, man. What's not to love about talking college football? And you can talk a little shit, and you know if they get butthurt about it, they get butthurt about it. Lately, I've been telling people what I feel about their opinion about this Michael Hawkins ain't ready shit. Like, well, if Arbuckle's so good, why would he not be ready in 9 months? What are you guys talking about? And they're getting all butthurt for me saying it. I don't know.
Hey, if they get butthurt, my response to that is, I don't give a shit.
I'm gonna add to that hard head, make a soft ass.
Oh, Coach, I love it, man. I got clips tonight. I promise you. I've been over here working. That's what I do miss about being on panels. Like I used to get so many clips, man. I'm the editor. I'm that guy. So I get clips. I know how to throw in the puns, like scenes from the different movies. Like, bro,
I love it.
There you go.
We need to work at it.
I don't give a shit. Watch, I guarantee you, Kevin Hart gonna be laughing hard as hell at your ass off of that one. I'm telling you, he gonna be that whole little meme where he in his chair with his phone. Oh man, I got a clip, but my mind just racing. But I'm gonna get out of here, y'all. I appreciate y'all.
Hey, man,
much
drive
love,
safe,
fellas.
man. Drive safe.
Y'all be blessed, man.
Hey man, be
Safe
careful.
travel, brother.
Yes, bro. Let me know.
Yes, sir.
All right, bro. Later on. Coach Smook of the Coach Smook Network. Make sure you guys get over there and check out his content. He does morning shows. He does night shows. He does it all. This dude is a hard worker.
Yeah.
Go over there, give him some love, watch his channel. It's always lots of fun. All right. Anything else you guys want to talk about before we get out of here tonight? Folks, we appreciate everybody coming in. We've had 700, about 700 is where we're at, looks like, and we've got 50 likes.
Wow. Come on, guys.
Staying under 10%, but I would appreciate it. Guys, we will be back in here ourselves. I'll be back in here in the morning on Rise and Shine College Football. We can talk all this Oklahoma stuff. I'm not going to do it tonight. I'm going to tell you this. I think there's a reason why things are a little sketchy for Oklahoma right now, and it's just what I was telling you the other day. So be ready for whatever might happen. I'm okay with whatever happens because I think if you're going to believe in Arbuckle, then you have to believe that he's going to be just fine with the guy that can do the things that Michael Hawkins can do. And it's 9 months to learn the offense. You can tell me he ain't going to be ready? Come on.
I believe in Arbuckle.
Right.
Hey, Coach, can I ask you a question?
No, sir.
I'm like, oh
I
shit.
knew it was coming.
Hey,
What you got, brother?
if we keep saying that it's the coach, if it's the coach, then it
What
means
did you say?
it's the system. If you're saying it's the coach, it must be the system. So
Right.
when Lincoln was here, it was always Lincoln could plug anybody into his system
Oof.
and make it work. So
Right.
why do we feel like Michael Hawkins can be plugged into that system and get either better or either the same results or better results in the same
Right.
system?
No, I don't think there's any doubt that he can get plugged in and have great results. I mean, I go